All right, all right, all right. Welcome, everybody. Please, in chat, let me know that you can see me and hear me. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday evening. What's today's date? Today's date is the 30th of June, June 30th. Excited to be here with you to share this information about how to get free using real estate. Thank you for letting me know, Damien. What's going on, y'all? Andre, Shauna, Damien, Matt. Good, good, good. All right, cool. All right, beautiful. I'm glad that you're here. I literally just want to jump right into it. I have a lot to share with you in a short amount of time. And so let's do this. I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, 1 second. Share my screen with you, and please confirm when you see it, that you can see it. All right, here we go. All right, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Good. All right, cool. Great, great, great. So given that, let me know what market you were looking to purchase multifamily real estate in. What market are you looking to purchase multifamily real estate in? Virginia, Charleston. Virginia's a state. That's not a market, okay? Don't give me a state. Give me a market, like a city or a county. Atlanta, okay? I'm seeing states. Baltimore, there we go. Hampton Roads. Troy, New York. Atlanta, a lot of Atlanta ATLians in the building. Philly, Fort Worth, Houston, Washington, D.C., Durham, North Carolina. I got family in Rocky Mount. Newark, New Jersey, Houston. Beautiful. Okay. So we got people from all over. We're West Coast. West Coast in the house. I'm from Oakland, California. Currently live in New Orleans, Louisiana. Nashville, Tennessee. West Coast ain't even in the building tonight. Okay, Inglewood, California. I see you, Andre. I see you, Rich. Okay, Richmond in the building. Okay, Bay Area showing up. All right, y'all being quiet. Yeah, I gotta let them know I'm in the building and I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself, right? So Mac Dre on them. We out here, right? Cool. I gotta represent for my town. You know how we do. All right. Beautiful. So good. Let's get it in, y'all. I want everybody to go to this website real quick, juliangordon.com/webinar worksheet. Go ahead and download that really quick. I'm putting it in the chat. Go ahead and click there and download that. There are literally hundreds of you here tonight. So if you get a busy signal, meaning that the page doesn't show up, just keep trying. And if it doesn't work at all, then guess what? Just get a piece of paper and take notes. It's all good. It's just a worksheet there to support you, and it's some fill in the blanks that are on some of the key points that are in the webinar just to enhance your learning experience while we're here, okay? So go ahead. Did anybody get access to it? Did it work for folks? Let me know in chat, did it work? No. All right, did it work for anybody? All right, I'm gonna just put a different one. All right, let me try that. Let me go try it real quick. Okay, W. Blackman got it. Sharita got it. All right, all the people who didn't work for it, they let me know quick, right? All right, it worked for me. All right, people got it. So just keep trying, all right? And I'll put it up one more time as we get closer, all right? Boom. Cancel. All right, so that's just a tool to support you tonight, okay? So let's get it in. I wanna welcome you all to the Multifamily Masterplan, where I'm gonna show you how to finance, find, and finalize your first multifamily real estate deal and literally start living for free. My name is Julian Gordon. I'm creator of the Multifamily Movement, and I'm so excited to share this information with you. I have a little bit of edit and an update, which is this is the coronavirus edition. Obviously, coronavirus has changed the game, not only on a global scale in all industries, but especially in real estate. But what has happened due to coronavirus and what will happen due to coronavirus in real estate is actually counterintuitive. I'm gonna show you exactly how it's going to impact you buying multifamily real estate within the next 3 to 6 months, okay? For those of you who don't know me, in fact, most of you probably don't even know me, I want to thank you for showing up for yourself. You didn't show up for me because you don't even know who I am. You showed up for yourself. You showed up for your financial future. You showed up for your last name. You showed up for your legacy. So I want to just take a moment to celebrate you for being here. You could easily be watching Netflix and chilling right now, but here you are learning about how to increase the wealth of your personal accounts and your family. So I just want to celebrate you even just for showing up here tonight. I'll give you a little bit about myself. My name is Julian Gordon, and my purpose is to free 300 people like Harriet Tubman to pursue their purpose through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. Obviously, Harriet Tubman was the #1 conductor on the Underground Railroad. And over the course of a decade, she freed about 300 people by making 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line. I call multifamily real estate the above ground railroad. Why? Because it's above ground. It's literally right there in front of our face, and we just couldn't see it for what it was. And we couldn't see that it was a pathway to freedom. But I've actually walked that path. I've guided other people down that path, and I know that it works, and I want to take as many people along the road with me. My professional background when it comes to real estate is that I've built a $3.9 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes with 30 doors that generate about $36,000 per month in rent. And I did all of that in just 6 years on the side. So a lot of people dread the first of the month, but guess what? Tomorrow, I'm actually excited about tomorrow, because tomorrow there'll be a $36,000 influx of cash into my bank account. And so this is what I want to teach you how to do. My real estate portfolio returns about, I don't keep all of that. Some of that is mortgage. Some of that is interest, taxes, insurance, repairs, updates, and things of that nature. But this is an economy that I've been able to create by controlling these 10 assets. All right. So I'm going to keep it real with you about real estate tonight. I'm going to be very transparent. In fact, I'm going to show you my portfolio in just a second. Okay. My real estate portfolio returns about 13.83% annually. The S&P 500, which is a major index in the stock market, over the past 20 years has only returned 4.23%. So some of you have your money in the stock market and your 401ks and things of that nature. Some of you have been getting hit hard. You got hit hard at the front end of Corona. Now you're getting hit hard on the back end of Corona, because it's an asset that you don't really control. Everybody says that stocks increase by 10% per year, and no, they don't. I've actually run the calculation. It's only 4.23% since the year 2000. So the asset class that I'm showing you tonight actually has grown at 3 times what the stock market has grown at. Okay, my properties have appreciated by 19.48%. in terms of their value. And this is where a lot of my net worth actually is in the appreciation and the equity that I have in the properties. I'm founder of the Freedom School and the multifamily movement. And I want you all to be clear. I am not a licensed real estate agent. I am not a licensed real estate agent, and you do not have to be one either in order to get into multifamily real estate. In fact, the mindset of a real estate agent and a real estate investor, those are 2 completely different things. Okay. And I'm going to explain that a little bit more as we go forward. All right. So I told you I was going to be very transparent about real estate tonight. Well, here's my actual portfolio. These are the 10 properties that I control. And guess what? I've never, ever made a mortgage payment on any of these properties. Why? Because the moment I acquired this first property in Brooklyn in 2013, the rents from units 2 and 3 actually paid for the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and all the other expenses related to that home. So the moment I acquired that first property, I achieved what I call rent and mortgage freedom, meaning that I will not have a housing expense for the rest of my life. I'm going to say that again. I will not have a housing expense for the rest of my life. All right. So I knew that I wanted to expand my portfolio after experiencing this. And I was in New York at the time, and New York properties cost $1 million. So I knew that for your second property, it requires 25% down. So 25% down on $1 million is $250,000, $250K. And I knew that if I wanted to be a real estate investor, I was going to have to find another market. So I decided to come to New Orleans, where I currently live. And as you can see, in 2019, I acquired 7 properties with 25 doors in 1 year. Last year alone, 7 properties with 25 doors, right? So this is what I'm going to show you how to do. A lot of people say, how long do I have to wait till I acquire my next property? You don't have to wait. As long as your DTI, your debt to income ratio, which we're going to talk about, is aligned, and you have the down payment ready, you can buy as many properties as you desire. Okay. So this is the game plan that I'm going to show you. Again, this is 10 properties, 30 doors, 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 in monthly revenues, and $3.9 million in value. All right. And again, I built this in 6 years, all on the side. Real estate was not my primary business whatsoever. In fact, my primary business was speaking at colleges and companies, and that has transitioned even in the midst of Corona. And I'm glad I made that transition, because even in the midst of Corona, a lot of my friends who were in those industries, they got cut off, and their revenue just dropped completely, because it was still active income. It's still trading time for energy, still leaving home to go get paid. And now with this asset class that I've been able to develop in my portfolio, I'm still thriving in the midst of what people call one of the worst economic environments we've ever been in. Okay. So I haven't just been able to do this for myself. I've been able to teach this process to many other people. These are some of my students. The Roll family, they have a fourplex in Los Angeles near the University of Southern California. The Campbell family, they have a duplex in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jackie Hall Cooper, she bought 4 doors, a 3-family and a single family in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Amina West, she owns in Brooklyn, New York, realized that it was going to be too expensive to invest in another property. So I helped her find a fourplex here in New Orleans. Dante Green is from New Orleans. I helped him find a duplex here. And then Spencer Smalls, he lives in Texas, but bought a duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. So tonight, I'm going to show you the multifamily math, how to quickly and quantitatively evaluate a real estate deal in less than 10 minutes so that you can make an offer before anyone else. Then I'm going to show you the multifamily map, how to find great emerging markets, neighborhoods, and properties near you or from a distance that will provide great cash flow and potential appreciation. And then I'm going to show you the multifamily mindset, how to think like a real estate investor when it comes to wealth, money, real estate, and debt. Okay. So my big promise tonight is to give you a proven path to rent and mortgage freedom. You've heard me say that a couple times tonight. Let me explain what rent and mortgage freedom is. Rent and mortgage freedom is the result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Okay. I did that with my first property in Brooklyn in 2013. For most people, their housing expense takes up about 1/3 of the money that they bring into their household through work. Okay. Now imagine with one single decision to buy a multifamily home in the right way, all of a sudden, you no longer have a housing expense for the rest of your life. In chat, tell me what would happen if you no longer had a housing expense for the rest of your life? What would change for you? In chat, let me know. What would change for you if you no longer had a housing expense for the rest of your life? Everything. Help to pay for childcare, travel more, financial freedom, larger savings, stress levels go down. Could enjoy life, travel, more savings, more investing, do my ministry, walk in my purpose, start my business, right? Freedom, build wealth, pay off student loans, life. Okay? You don't notice nobody wants to spend more time with their family. Everybody on quarantine with their family. You're like, man, I don't like my family. None of y'all want to spend time with your family. I'm joking, y'all. I know y'all love your family, but they can get on your nerves sometimes, right? Everybody needs space, okay? When you got a multifamily home, you could take your space, all right? Cool. Some people want to start a family, right? So I know a lot of y'all like, okay, Julian, this sounds great, but what about that Rona though? You know, Black people, we the only ones that come up with a nickname for everything. What about that Rona though, okay? There's gonna be a lot of Rona babies coming out probably December, January. It's gonna be a lot of Rona babies. A lot of people quarantine, shacking up, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of kids named Rona with a K, Corey. it's gonna be funny, right? You're gonna see that name Spike. Please do not name your child after no disease, okay? All right. This is gonna be fun tonight, y'all. Corona with a Q. Teresa said Corona with a Q, right? Why you should buy during the economic recession. Here is the economic recession 2009, 2010. And what you'll see is that the average single family home in the United States was $208,000 at the end of that recession. See this dip right here? At the end of that recession, $208,000 for the average single family home in the United States. Guess what? 10 years later, that same single family home is worth $324,000 because of the appreciation of real estate. So if you would have bought in the midst of the last recession while everybody else was afraid and scared, guess what? You'd literally be up 116 racks in terms of your net worth just because you bought while everybody else was afraid. So this is actually your time to make your move. And what's going to happen is a lot of owners are in forbearance right now because they bought wrong. There's a difference between buying wrong and buying right. I'm going to show you how to buy right. And because they bought wrong, now they're in forbearance. One person lost their job and now they can't pay the mortgage, but they're delaying. But in July, August, September, the forbearance is going to end and you're going to see the prices of real estate drop. This is that 3-month window right here, this dip. This is what I'm preparing you for with the webinar tonight, to take full advantage of that, okay? So that 10 years from now, I meet you in the airport or somewhere where life is back to quote unquote normal, or actually life is better. I'm claiming that life is better for all of y'all 10 years from now, okay? But you're like, Julian, that house that I bought after attending your webinar, guess what? It's up 150K. It's appreciated 150K over the past 10 years. This is what I want for you, okay? So the time is right now, all right? Now, what happens to rents in the midst of a recession? A lot of people are like, Julian, what if your tenants don't pay, people losing their jobs, things of that nature? Well, first and foremost, 1/3 of my renters are actually on Section 8. A lot of people have negative stereotypes about Section 8. If you're a landlord, you would wish you had Section 8 right now. Section 8 means this, guess what? Tomorrow I will be paid on time and I'll be paid online no matter what. No matter what. And my Section 8 tenants, they actually cover about 75% of my mortgages. So even if all my market rate tenants decided not to pay for whatever reason, let's say all of them lost their job, guess what? At least 75% of my mortgages will still be covered. And the other 25% is not that much money. Okay. So you not only want to diversify the assets that you have in your portfolio, you also want to diversify your tenants. So 26 out of 27 of my tenants paid throughout this entire last 3 months. 26 of 27 tenants. Okay. The one tenant that didn't pay was a tenant that I inherited when I purchased the property, meaning that I didn't get to screen them. Okay. And once they heard that there was no evictions, they just decided to milk it. That tenant has since been evicted and they moved on, and that apartment has been turned over and is being ready to be rented this month. Okay. So this is just the name of the game. The key is to screen your tenants right. The first asset is the piece of real estate. The second asset is actually having great tenants and taking care of your tenants. I'm an ethical investor. I take care of people. I'm a steward of the 60 people that I house. I have 27 active tenants right now. I have 3 units that are in construction and being turned over. But there's 60 people that I take care of in those families. And I'm a steward of them. I'm responsible for them. I am anti-slumlord. Okay. There are people who will teach real estate that'll teach you, yeah, just go raise the rents on people and displace them. I don't care who they are. And then they'll have you displacing a single mother out 30 more minutes. Now her commute is longer on public transportation. And now she has no connection with her son because you were putting profits over people. I show you how to invest ethically where we put people over profits. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. All right. Yes, I love and take care of my tenants. You can see my Instagram post. In fact, one of my Instagram posts last week, I actually have one of my tenants on camera and she tells about her experience with me because I want to change that narrative of landlord versus tenant. I know there's a lot of bad landlords out there, but it doesn't have to be that way. I respond to my tenants immediately via text message, and I try to have anything that they need repaired within 72 hours. Okay. If I can't, I don't repair the things myself. I have plumbers, I have electricians, things of that nature. This is how the relationship should be. We're providing a service to them and they pay us for that service. If a cell phone tower is down or your internet is out, Cox or whoever their internet provider is, hopefully they're going to be responsive. We need to operate in the same way. But we've been paying slumlords in our community. We've been paying slumlords too long, right? People who don't care about us. And the only way to get them to care is to take our dollars elsewhere. Okay. So if you can keep your money flowing through the community, let's say you are renting right now, and I know a lot of you are, be selective about your landlord. Like the space can be nice, but if your landlord sucks, then your experience is going to be bad. All right. So that was an aside, but I just wanted to let you know where I'm coming from, that this business is not about gouging people. This is about taking care of people. Right? I provide quality, affordable housing for 60 people. All right. And I take pride in that. All right. So, so why do rents go up? Oh, actually, I didn't even cover this slide. Y'all have me going elsewhere. Okay. What happens to rents in the midst of recession? This blue line represents rents. Okay. And you'll see these gray bars represent the last few recessions. And what you'll notice is that rents go up in a recession. Wait, why would rents go up in a recession when people seem to be losing their jobs? Let me show you exactly what happens. In any market, there are permanent renters, there are renters who are looking to buy soon, and they're single family buyers, okay? Those single family buyers, a lot of them bought a 5-bedroom home, even though they got a 3-piece family, because they believe that they need an extra room for grandma when she comes for Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Like they bought all this extra house for somebody to stay in there, perhaps 10 nights out of the entire year. And now one of them loses their job and now they can't afford that mortgage. So what happens to them? They either have to sell at a discounted price or they get foreclosed on. When they get foreclosed on, what do they end up doing? They become renters. Now the renter pool has gone up, but the supply of rental units has not gone up. So when demand goes up, but supply hasn't changed, what happens to price in economics, y'all? When demand goes up, but price hasn't changed, what happens to price, y'all? Price rises. Price rises, okay? So this is why rents go up in the midst of an economic recession. It's just a simple supply and demand. So the reality is that this is so important right now because rents are going to continue to rise, right? And if for those of you who are renters, while they rise but your wages or your salary isn't rising, that's going to make it harder for you to save. And while it's harder for you to save, the price of real estate will start rising again, right? Which then will make it harder for you to buy because of the down payment. So if you don't make a move within this window that is about to occur, you may never own a piece of multifamily real estate. You may never own a piece of multifamily real estate, and I don't want that for you. That's why this message is so urgent for me, okay? Because there's a gap between the rich and the poor. And right now, that gap, you're able to cross it with a few of the right decisions, okay? But that gap is gonna get wider and wider and wider. And at some point, very soon, it'll be so wide that you cannot even get across the gap unless you have an elder, a parent who left you a life insurance policy that drops a wad on you, okay? When they die, which is not, that money typically doesn't feel good because you got it when somebody you love died, and then you're able to get to the other side. Without that, you will be stuck on the side of the least, okay? And so we have to take action as soon as we can to make this decision. Now, why am I so bullish on multifamily real estate? Because multifamily real estate is the most proven business model of all time. It is the #1 subscription business, better than Amazon Prime, better than Netflix, better than even your cell phone provider. Why? Because if you think about it, in the feudal system, 900 AD in Europe, kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. Kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. So where do you think the word landlord comes from, y'all? Kings gave land to lords. So this business model that I'm sharing with you has been around for 1,100 years. I cannot guarantee you that Amazon, Google, or Apple will be around 1,100 years from now. But I can guarantee you that if human beings on the face of this earth, they will need housing, and multifamily real estate will be more valuable than ever, okay? So this is why I'm so bullish on multifamily real estate and why I put all of my economic resource into it and why I put all my energy into educating you. Now, before we go further, I want to address one big myth that people have is that it's just way too expensive for me to even start. I'm going to disprove that right now, okay? This is my W-2 from 2012. Okay, I only made $36,000 in my business. Started my business January 9th, 2009. And it took time. My business is doing really well now, but in the beginning, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was also single and living simply. Okay, so remember, I bought my property in Brooklyn, $937,000. I bought it in 2013. So this is the W-2 that they use to qualify me for that mortgage. Literally, I'm showing you my actual W-2, y'all. Right? No lie. This is it. All right. So I got started in multifamily real estate when I wasn't making a lot of money in New York City, the most expensive market in the world, while I was an entrepreneur within 3 years of a recession. Okay. So if you're like, oh, I don't make enough, I can never afford that. It's not true. It's not true. There are some things you do need cash, you do need credit, and you do need cash flow in order to be able to get finance. But some of you have illusions about how much money you need to actually play in the game. All right. So I'm gonna explain to you how to get in the game, even if you don't make that much money right now. All right. Now, when we talk about multifamily real estate, what are we talking about? I'm not talking about those 60-unit buildings that you see when you drive down the freeway or these big apartment complexes. We're not there yet. What we're trying to do is get your first asset in your family's name. We're talking about 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes. 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes, okay? There's only 2.6 million of them in the United States. They only make up 18% of the rental supply. So we're looking for a very specific asset. Here's what's powerful about them. The same financing process that you have to go through for a single-family home is the same process that you would have to go through for a 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family. Once you get to 5 or more units, that becomes a commercial property, and that's a different process and a different financing, okay? And the loan terms are different as well, okay? So this is what we're looking for. I want to be very clear about that, okay? And if you buy a 3-family or a 4-family in the right way, guess what? You can achieve rent and mortgage freedom. Some of you, without even knowing it, are literally 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom. You didn't even know you were that close, okay? But it's gonna take some work, okay? It's not gonna be the traditional methods. It's not Truly or Zillow, okay? That's gonna get it for you. So I'm gonna show you what you can do tonight, okay? So this is for you. Yes, I said $937,000, okay? This is for you if you are a renter or single family home buyer who wants to be receiving rent monthly instead of paying rent or mortgage to someone else. This is for you if you are committed to creating generational wealth for yourself and your family by having your money work for you instead of you always working for it. And if you are willing to make the short-term sacrifices necessary to guarantee the long-term financial gains and freedom, right? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, y'all. I'm gonna repeat this 3 times. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I know some of y'all got caught up in multi-level marketing. How many of y'all got caught up in multi-level marketing? Raise your hand. Let's just keep it real. Me too. When I was in college, okay? Why? Because they sold you this get rich quick dream, right? And most of us actually ended up worse off. Not only did we give our money to that organization, flying to their conferences, things like that, and then some of us lost friends and family because we were trying to sell them and get them in our downline and in our pyramid, right? And now that company probably don't even exist anymore, right? So this is because we've been trying to chase all these get rich quick schemes when there's been a process here that has been laid out for you. Multifamily real estate is get rich guaranteed over time. Okay. Can you all type that? Get rich guaranteed over time. Type that in. Get rich guaranteed over time. All right. Y'all throwing in acronyms. GRGOT. Y'all throwing in acronyms already. I ain't typing that, Julie. I don't know how to spell guaranteed. Cool. We having fun here. So if you are here looking for a get rich quick scheme, please sign off now. This is not for you. This is not for you. But if you want to make sure that you have assets in your last name that accrue and value over time and provide cash flow, then this is it. Okay. So real quick, before I go forward, can I get your permission if I drop some gems on you and give you some game over the next 30, 40 minutes that we have together? Can I take an opportunity, 10 minutes to share an opportunity with you at the end for those of you who want to accelerate your process and want to make this happen in your life sooner than later? Okay, just let me know. For those of you who are not interested, I'll let you know when I share that opportunity. You can sign off. It's all good. During this webinar, I'm going to give you enough game to chew on and take action on. Okay, so there's not going to be any fluff here. Okay, hopefully everybody has a pen and notes because we're about to go in. All right, what Lil Wayne say? I'm going in. All right. So for those of you who stay to the end, I'm going to be giving you a list of down payment assistance programs organized by state. Right, so these are literally grants that'll cover your closing costs. They will allow you to roll your closing costs into the loan. Some of them require you to take a landlord course and then they'll give you a grant. Some of them reduce your interest rate. So stay tuned so that you can get access to this list of down payment assistance programs, because that's one of the biggest hurdles that a lot of people say that they have when it comes to buying real estate. All right. Again, for those of you who came in late, this is the link to the worksheet. Okay. And this is fill in the blanks. Is to help improve your learning during this actual call. As you can see, we're going to go through some real serious stuff here. Okay. Everybody good? Everybody good? Well, let's do it. How many of you have been on some boring webinars before? Yes, I did use down payment assistance on my first property. I have not used down payment assistance since then. Usually down payment assistance programs only work for the first property. All right. So some of y'all been on some boring webinars. I'm gonna shake this one up. I'm gonna open up with a poem. All right. The reason I'm gonna open up with a poem is because I understand multifamily real estate so well that I can actually put it into rhyme for you. Right. That's how deep I understand it. I'm homeschooling my daughter right now, and you know, how do kids learn? They learn through rhyme. Right. All this ABC songs, all that is in music. So I'm actually gonna spit a poem for you in hopes that you grasp some of these concepts and the importance of ownership. All right. So let's do this. It's called the multifamily poem. Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenue to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan, student debt is a thinking a higher wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, deep in debt to you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily and let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant. Yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure, because if you always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins the race. It's the man with his soul who can look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments in a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As the lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in the stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never, ever stop. Assets, 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 passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative as a long-term game. Who you hustling for, your first or your last name? Boom. Somebody said cash flow is king. Cash flow is king. Yes, cash is not king, correct? So your queen is the asset. Your queens give birth to kings, which is cash flow. Okay, and those kings give birth to pawns, which are cash. right? This is not king. You've been taught cash is king. Cash is not king. Every time I get cash, every time your bank gets your cash, what do? They try to turn it into an asset immediately. All this is green paper. This is worth nothing. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. You can't wear it. You could wear it. You could try to piece it together. It has no value whatsoever except what we believe in it. Okay? You actually want to turn this into a real asset. You can't save your way to wealth, y'all. I'm just keeping it 100. Like I'm gonna really just, I'm teaching real estate, but I'm also teaching financial literacy and wealth consciousness at the same time, right? Using real estate. So some of the principles that I share with you, you may not understand and grasp yet, but hopefully one day you will. All right. So let's keep it pushing. Myth number one is that I can't afford it. That I can't afford it. All right. So as I showed you, I was able to acquire a large piece of multifamily real estate when I wasn't making that much money. When we use the word I can't, we literally turn off the subconscious mind. The conscious mind, which is here, operates and processes 40 bits per second, okay? Your subconscious mind processes 40 million bits per second. When you go to sleep tonight, what keeps you breathing? When you go to sleep tonight, what keeps your heart beating? When you go to sleep tonight, what tells you it's time to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night while you were consciously asleep? That's your subconscious mind, y'all. Okay, but when you say the conscious mind says can't, it turns off the processing power of the subconscious mind. So we really want to ask the question, how can I afford it? When we pose a question to the subconscious mind will constantly seek the answer, even when you're asleep. This is why you wake up in the middle of the night and you have an idea, right? Or you wake up in the morning, you're like, where did that idea come from? Because your subconscious mind working for you 24/7, whereas your conscious mind works for you maybe 16 hours out of the day, and it gets more and more tired throughout the day. All right. So a lot of people believe that the monthly payment is undoable. Well, the average 2-bedroom in the United States costs $1,225, right? The average single family home, if you were to get a mortgage on that single family home with 3.5% down at 3.8% for 30 years, this would be $1,199. So it's literally cheaper to own than it is to rent. Okay. But again, we're not here to talk about single family homes tonight. All right. This is one, somebody who emailed me said, hey, Julian, I really loved your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dream. At this time, I pay $1,200 per month for 9 years, which is insane, for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything. Look, y'all, a lot of us use excuses. I'm not ragging on single moms, right? Anybody, we could plug in anything there. But what most of us do is we take our weakness where we feel weak and we use that as our crutch and our excuse. How long does a lease last, y'all? How long does a lease last? So let me know in chat real quick. How long does a lease last? 12 months. But she has been here for 9 years. The fact that she's a single mom stop her from moving to another apartment? No. So when we multiply 9 years times 12 months times $1,200, she is literally given this landlord, this slumlord, $129,000. $129,000. And that's not even including interest. If I had all of you add up how much rent you paid since you've been, quote unquote, living on your own. Look at me, I'm living on my own, but you don't own. What did I say in the poem? Living on your own, but you don't own. Some of you, your numbers would make you sick. You'd realize, oh, that's where all my money went. 1/3 of my money after taxes was going to rent. Okay, so we are not going to be able to rent our way to wealth. All right, look in chat. Let me know how much you pay in rent. Put $1,000 rent or $1,000 mortgage. I know we got some single family buyers here. Okay, 2,400 Matt, 440, 445, 1,675, 740, 2,100 mortgage, 1,500 mortgage, 1,000 rent, 957 rent, 1,250 mortgage, mortgage 2,700. 2K rent in Bushwick Loft Studio. 1625. That's why I left New York. 1359 rent, 1,200, 1,250 mortgage, 1,600 rent, 2,130, 1,800. Yo, y'all could come be my tenants because y'all just like giving away. Y'all gonna be giving away money tomorrow. Y'all gonna be giving away money tomorrow. Just throwing it away. All right, we got to change that. So watch this. Let's just say 1,000 was the average, right? Whether you have a mortgage and you're paying a whole bunch of interest and property taxes, insurance, and all your utilities, et cetera, you still got money coming out the door, even if you are quote unquote a homeowner, right? So let's just say $1,000. What if you could keep $1,000 Instead of paying it to somebody else, if you could keep that money and invest it at 5% per year, per month, for the next 40 years, anybody know how much money you would have? If you could keep that $1,000, invest it at just 5%, which is very conservative, every single month for the next 40 years, do you know how much money you would have? You would all have $1.5 million in 40 years. You'd all be millionaires. I told you this was get rich guaranteed over time. If we could literally just get your rent and mortgage expense off the books and you invest that money instead, I can guarantee you all a pathway to millionaires. It's math. I'm not even making this up. This is math. That's the calculation. That's the financial model that you see in the background. This is the path. We just got to get rent off the table. We got to get your mortgage expense off the table and invest that money instead. You'd all be millionaires. Now, some of you are like, I don't have 40 years. Yeah, Tangi says, I don't have 40 years. Tangi, you got to stop thinking about yourself. You hopefully or maybe you have seed, kids or whatnot. Look, if you don't have 40 years left, look, get it as far as you can and pass the baton to the next generation so that they only have to go 20 years. We can't just be thinking about ourselves. You know, every other community thinks in like 100-year terms. All we can think about is the weekend. So if you don't have 40 years left, like, look, I got 10 years left. Let me get as far as I can so I can pass it to the next generation and they only have 30 years to go. We got to stop thinking about ourselves. What can I do to leave the next generation in a better position? Not just easier, because easier then gets them into entitlement and things of that nature, right? But the reason I do this is so my daughter, when she's ready to step into her adulthood, she can walk in her purpose without any worry of money whatsoever. That's the only thing I want. That's the only thing I want for all of you, is to be able to walk in your purpose. For me, freedom isn't just kicking my feet up on a beach all day and doing nothing. For me, freedom is actually the ability to walk in my purpose, my God-given purpose every single day without worry about money whatsoever. And this is what I want for all of you, okay? So you got to think beyond yourself if you don't have 40 years left, okay? But some of you are young enough and like, yeah, I got 40 years and I'm showing you a guaranteed path, right? So people, again, if you're a renter, type renter in chat. If you're a renter, type renter in chat. All right, so tonight is going to be, I've already entertained you, but it's going to be a little bit of tough love. So we're going to go on an emotional roller coaster, okay? Tough love is the noun, tough is the adjective, okay? So if you're a renter, I need you to accept for the fact that you are homeless. You are homeless. See, you've been walking around calling it my apartment, and when you called it my apartment, you were telling your subconscious mind, oh, we got an apartment, we're safe. But the reality is you're not on the title, you're not on the deed. So now that quarantine is coming up, and I know some of you want to have dinner parties and invite people over, on the invitation, please do not put come over to my apartment, because you'd be lying. Thou shalt not bear false witness, so don't lie. Just say, come over to Sally's apartment, come over to Brent's apartment, because that's where I've been renting for the past 5 years. Put their name on the invitation, because it's not yours. So why would you say my apartment on the invitation? It's not yours. So let's just be honest. You inviting your friends, right? You can keep it real with your friends, right? You're not on the title, you're not on the deed. See, you were supposed to be renting temporarily, but some of you slipped into renter's consciousness and renter mentality. You over here bragging about your apartment and where it's located. It's not yours. I don't care how nice your apartment looks. I don't care if there's a hot chocolate in the lobby. I don't care if you got Thai food downstairs and a club around the corner and nice bar. I don't care about any of that. Do you own it? Do you own it? Most of you should have stepped into that apartment with the renting and left all your stuff in boxes. You should have left it all in boxes, and you should have been eating off of paper plates with plastic utensils to remind yourself that, oh, this is temporary. I'm not supposed to be here forever. Why am I unpacking? I'm not supposed to be comfortable here. This is not mine. This is just a stopping place until I'm able to own. But now here you are buying furniture to fit into certain nooks and certain bedrooms. You're buying art for certain walls, right? You done painted some of the apartment, right? You mowing the lawn like it's yours. You sweeping the hallways. It's not yours. It's not yours. And here we have this homeless person, really homeless, who's probably been through some traumatic issues, probably been through some domestic violence and some abuse, probably dealing with mental health, and is actually sleeping on a bus bench, has no money in their account whatsoever. And guess what? How does this homeless person own as many properties as you do? Zero. Here you are with all this education, you got a decent job, you got a decent head on your shoulder, you got the internet, you're watching me on a computer right now. And the homeless person who's actually out there on the corner with their cardboard sign, they own as many properties as you. How does that make sense? So it's time for you to get off your butt and go get something. Get up, get out, and get something. So my prayer for all of you, and I say this jokingly, okay? Because I know the power of words, but I say this jokingly. I really jokingly wish that all of you get more bed bugs, more rats, and more roaches in your apartments. Because I think that that's the only thing that's going to make you uncomfortable enough to say, oh, I got to get out of here and go get my own. You've gotten too comfortable in renter mentality. And you were never meant to be a permanent renter. Some of y'all been renting for over a decade now. Add all that up, and you will see that, oh, this is why I have no money in my account. Because I've been paying rent. I've been paying 1/3 of everything I've earned to someone else. Y'all with me? And I say this out of love, okay? I say this out of love, y'all, all right? Because I know something's got to get you to move. Something's got to get you to move, all right? And I hope that I can be that force, all right? Now, for those of you who are single family buyers, type SFH, single family home. So I got some single family buyers here, all right? It ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. Not on this webinar, okay? So for the single family buyers, what is a mortgage? The word mortgage, mort as in mortician, the word mortgage, the root of it, the etymology of it, the word mortgage literally means death pledge. A lot of y'all sign death pledges and happy on the Instagram. Look at me, I own a home. Look at me. No, you don't. You don't own anything. You own 3.5% of that home. You use the FHA loan. The bank owns the other 96.5. So stop fronting. Stop fronting for the gram, y'all. You don't own anything. Okay, you signed a death pledge. Some of y'all are in jobs you hate and you're afraid to leave because of a mortgage payment. You're afraid to leave a job because you're afraid of missing a mortgage payment. That's the easiest way to retain an employee. Go help them get a home that's a little bit bigger than they can afford. They'll stay with you for 30 years. Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. So for those of you who are single family buyers, all right, let me show you how that transaction really works. If you're a single family buyer, the truth is that the bank buys your home. You don't buy it. The bank buys it. And then it rents it to you for 30 years. So you're like, oh, look at me. I'm not paying rent anymore. Look at me. I'm out here doing my thing. Okay. No, the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years. But you're not paying rent to a landlord. You're paying rent to the bank for their money. The interest on a $300,000 home with 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000. That's just the interest. Okay. So that's equivalent to $578 per month. That's what you're paying in rent. So you thought you weren't paying rent anymore? Yes, you are. It's just called interest. And I haven't included private mortgage insurance or your property taxes or your housing expenses, your utilities or any of that, or your insurance. So some of you who have single family homes, you actually have more expenses going out of your home every single month related to housing. Because guess what? All of you who are single family buyers, you know that your first mortgage payment, it was 70% interest and only 30% principal. You had a $1,000 mortgage payment, $700 was interest and $300 was principal. So there's some people who are renting next door to you, same square footage, who actually have less housing expense than you do because you own. Anybody debate this? It's just straight math, y'all. So the reality is, if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home, but we're not here for single family homes, okay? If you don't want to pay rent or mortgage for the rest of your life, you can simply buy a multifamily home. Okay? Now, for the single family buyers that are here, please type, if you feel like you messed up, type messed up. And I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm doing this to educate all the renters who are here. Okay? Not doing this to shame you at all. Okay? I'm going to help you get out of your situation. There's 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. But if you know you messed up, please type messed up to let all the renters who are here know, please do not follow my footsteps. Renters, are y'all seeing this? Are y'all seeing this? Okay, so that is not the road that we want to go down. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get your single family home after we go get this multifamily home. All right. Legacy said effed up. Legacy took it to a whole nother level. Okay, so down payment. Okay, where am I going to get this down payment, Julian? I can't save that much. My wages, everything's gone at the end of the month. Okay, let me show you. Did you know that there are no money down programs out there? No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration. This program in particular is called NACA, www.naca.com. Okay, See, some of you didn't even know this. These are not stock images. These are men that I actually know. Mark, he has a duplex through this program in Inglewood, California. Chris Cosgrove, he has a fourplex in Los Angeles near USC using this program. And Kevin, he owns a duplex in Brooklyn using this program. Okay. Some of you, because you just believe that you couldn't afford it, you couldn't even see NACA if it even came past you. Even if you were eavesdropping on a conversation, it wouldn't have registered because you told yourself you can't afford it. See, your intellectual property, what you know, can actually get you physical property. Your intellectual property can actually get you physical property. This is physical property. My intellectual property got me that. Okay? So that's the first option that you have is NACA. Okay? The next option that you have is the FHA, the government's 3.5% down payment program. Okay? So this is a property that I have control over here in New Orleans. Okay, remember, I don't say own. Until the mortgage is paid off, I do not say own. I control all of these assets. Okay, and it's $300,000. All right, with 3.5% down on $300,000, that's only $10,500 to control a $300,000 asset. Okay, that's just the down payment. I'm not including clothing costs or any fixes or whatnot. But to control a $300,000 asset, all you need is $10,500 down. Okay, so in order to get finance, you need three things. You need credit, right, which is your history with debt, your cash flow, which is proof of income, and cash for your down payment. Okay, if you use a program like NACA, a lot of these will not be considered to the degree that they will with others. Now, NACA can get you finance, but then the biggest challenge is actually finding the property, making sure that you buy right. That's where people fall short. Okay, and that's what I'm here to help you do. All right, so here's the name of the game, y'all. I know single family buyers are like, Julian, why didn't you find me earlier? Single family buyers, just hold with me. Again, single family buyers are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of your situation. Okay. Here's what most people do. They use FHA to buy their single family home, 3.5% down on $100,000. And disregard the number, the prices of the homes. Just understand the principle of the math that I'm sharing with you. 3.5% down on a smaller purchase, right? So now they put $3,500 down. Now they're here on this webinar and they want to be a real estate investor, but they didn't know that they were going to have to put 25% down on their investment property. So 25% down on $300,000 is $75,000. You add those two together, that's $78,000 in down payments. Okay. But watch this. If we really just switched it around and we bought the multifamily first with the 3.5% down, 3.5% down on $300,000 is $10,500. And then with FHA, you only have to live in it for 1 year. Now you go buy the single family that you want. Let's say you put 25% down on the $100,000 home. That's $25,000. Now that's $35,000 total in down payments. So it's literally twice as easy to get a multifamily first and then your single family than to get the single family first and then your multifamily. Does this make sense to everyone? Please let me know in chat. Does this make sense? It's literally twice as easy, y'all. Okay? So again, for those of you who came in late, we've had a few hundred or more people come in since I started. This is my actual real estate portfolio, okay? This is the 3-family that I bought first. And guess what? I have no desire to buy a single family home. Eventually, one day, will I buy a single family home that's detached? I'm not sharing walls or ceilings with anybody. Yeah. But right now, I don't see a single family as an asset. So I'm continuing to buy multifamily homes. This is my portfolio. It all started with this one property in Brooklyn. When you buy this first property right, you end up having a portfolio. See, I'm not here tonight to I want you to get the idea out of your head, oh, I just want to be a homeowner. I don't just want you to have one property. I want you to have a portfolio, okay? Get the idea, oh, I'm just going to have one. Like that visualization of you just having one, just get that out of your head. I want you to have an entire portfolio. Let's think bigger, okay? But your portfolio will be based on you buying this first property right. Okay, so let me show you the play that we're trying to run, y'all. Here's the play that we're seeking to run. This is exactly what I did in Brooklyn, all right? So watch this. I was renting, okay? And now it's $1,000 per unit, okay? And perhaps I'm saving $250. So $3,000 per month is going to the landlord. The landlord takes that money. They pay the mortgage to the bank of $1,500, okay? Now they pocket $1,500 and they are about their way, okay? So literally, the next step is us becoming the landlord. So we go acquire a similar property. This is my property in Brooklyn, 3-family, structured just like this. Okay. Now I move into this and I immediately achieve rent and mortgage freedom. So now I have $2,000 in rent coming from the unit's second floor and third floor. I'm showing you the exact play that I ran, y'all. Okay. But guess what? I'm no longer paying rent anymore. Right. So that's actually another $1,000 in my pocket. So now that's $3,000 in my pocket. Right. And watch this. I go take that and I pay the mortgage to the bank of $1,500. Now I have $1,500. So I went from paying $1,000 out, and 3 months later, okay, now I have $1,500 coming in, and I control this entire asset. Now, for those of you who are like, Julian, I don't want to live with other people above me or next to me, etc. That's okay. It's only a 1 year sacrifice. From there, you go buy the single family that you desire. You have a tenant move into your unit. Now you have $3,000 coming from this property. You have $1,000 coming from not paying rent anymore 12 months ago. And now that's $4,000. You pay $1,500 for this mortgage. You pay $1,500 for your single family mortgage. Now both mortgages are paid by this building, plus you're stacking $1,000 and you are living rent and mortgage free and you have 4 doors. This is the game plan, y'all. This is the play. Now, it may look simple here, but there's nuances that you need to be able to execute to make sure that you buy this deal right. Literally, some of you who have everything in order, you're literally 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom if you just follow the blueprint that I'm giving you. And then some of you are 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom. You stay in that property for 1 year, and you're literally 15 months away from having the single family home that you desire paid by other people. You not paying the mortgage whatsoever on the single family home or the multifamily home. That's how quickly it can happen, y'all. I'm not saying this is get rich quick. I'm just saying if you execute this play right, it can literally happen in 3 months for some folks. Some of you got to work on your credit. Some of you need to save some more money. Some of you got to get your income back up, etc. After coronavirus. Everybody's going to be on different timelines. But there's some of you who are here tonight who are literally 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom. All right. So let's keep it pushing. The multifamily math. If I told you I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense or mortgage expense for the rest of your life and give you $90 cash every single month, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? Would you give up or go get the money? I found an ATM machine that'll pay you $1,090 every single month. All you need to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? Okay, y'all like, I go get that money. You know, I'm about that life. You know me, I'll do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, people be talking mess when it comes to hypothetical situations, but then when the rubber hits the road, you see people fall off. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna believe y'all. Y'all say y'all about getting that money. Okay, this is basic math. You would literally be able to repay yourself in 9 months. You would have all your money back in 9 months, 9 to 10 months. Okay, so that ATM machine, y'all, is right here. It's the same property I showed you before. Here are the actual numbers. Price, $300,000. Down payment, 3.5%. Down, which is $10,500. Rents are $3,200. $1,600 for the top floor, $1,600 for the bottom floor. This is a 5-bedroom. This is a 4-bedroom. The mortgage, $1,259. The taxes, insurance, $335. CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate, which is money that I set aside for future repairs, is $515. And so that leaves me with a cash flow of $1,089, $1,090. This is the ATM machine. You've been driving past it on your way to work, dropping your kids off at school, on the way to the grocery store. You just couldn't see it. You couldn't see the above ground railroad. It's been staring you in the face. You've actually been part of it. As a renter, you've been part of it, but you couldn't see the economics of it on the back end. This is why it makes so much sense. Okay. So this is the ATM machine. All right. So answer me this, y'all. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down, get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days simply by emailing your tax return and some other documents to a lender, have that business immediately cash flow in 30 days, and succeed with minimal time, effort, or experience? Please let me know in chat. We got drugs, prostitution. I don't want y'all to get hemmed up, okay? I'm talking about legal businesses, all right? There is none. This is why multifamily real estate should be the first asset in your family's name. Now, when it comes to buying multifamily, you hear me talk about buying right. See, it's different than buying single family home. Single family home is 3 decisions. How much should I get approved for? $500,000. How much is this home? It's $490. Do I like the home? Yes. 3 decisions. Okay. When it comes to buying multifamily real estate, there's literally 23 numbers you need to know to evaluate a multifamily real estate properly, multifamily real estate deal properly. Okay. You miss one number, it can actually destroy your entire deal. This is a financial model that I built out over the past 6 years. This is what allows me to evaluate deals quickly and put my offers in quickly. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. You have to know every last one of these numbers in order to evaluate a multifamily real estate deal. It's different than buying single family homes, okay? I don't buy multifamily with my eyes. I buy it based on economics. This is not an emotional decision. This is all economics, okay? So because I do this, I'm able to see a deal, evaluate it within 10 minutes, text my agent, here's my offer, and they send me some documents via DocuSign, and within 30 to 45 minutes, my offer is in before you even woken up. Some of you are out here on Truly and Zillow bookmarking stuff. I'm gonna save this house. I'm gonna look at it after I get off work. I'm gonna check it out with my husband on the weekend, right? And my offer was in before you even left your house in the morning. Before you even got your coffee, my offer was already in. How are you gonna compete with somebody like that in this game? If there's ever a deal, I don't use Truly and Zillow to find deals. If there's ever a deal on Truly and Zillow, my offer will be in before you've even left your house. Okay, so we're playing a completely different game. There's a difference between a real estate listing, which is those things that are in Truly and Zillow, and a real estate deal. We're looking for real estate deals, not real estate listings. Every real estate listing is not a real estate deal. There's actually probably 2% of those real estate listings are actually real estate deals. We're trying to find that 2%. All right. So myth number 2, I missed my opportunity. All right. I already told you with coronavirus, it's actually presenting you an opportunity because those who were in forbearance, they're going to have to come up off their properties in a few minutes if they didn't get their job back. Okay. So you didn't miss your opportunity in real estate. You actually create opportunities with how you actually structure deals. All right. So you have to learn how to see the opportunity. Many of your eyes have been trained by this new channel, HGTV. HGTV wasn't there when we were growing up. What was it? HGTV is how old? I don't even know how old it is, but it is training people in terms of how they should look at real estate, and it's training you wrong. Okay. It's training single family buyers. It's not training real estate investors. Right. So I call it HGTV foolishness. Because guess what? Your first investment property probably won't look like anything you've seen on HGTV. Look at me, y'all. None of my properties will ever be featured on HGTV, and I don't care. None of my properties will ever be featured on HGTV, and I don't care one lick. Okay? So a lot of you watching shows like The Property Brothers, screw The Property Brothers, right? I say, I'm your new property brother with an A, and I'm gonna keep it real with you about real estate. Because this is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. Y'all getting so caught up in granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. Why are you so caught up on stainless steel appliances? A stainless steel refrigerator costs like $800. Why are you about to make a $400,000 decision off an $800 refrigerator? That makes no sense whatsoever. That's because you're being caught up in the emotion of it. A granite countertop, to get those, buy the slab, to get it cut, get the sink cut, and get it installed with an undermount sink, that's like $1,200. You about to make a $400,000 decision off of a $1,200 counter? This is how we are being taught to prioritize the wrong things when it comes to buying real estate, okay? So we want to buy right. This is my first property, okay? And I'll be honest, this is the linen white paint. The linen white paint that they use all over New York. I don't even know why they sell this color. I would prefer that the walls were just white, okay? And it's not a traditional brownstone, but it is a 3-family and it cash flows like one. Look at the countertops. These are the cheapest countertops that you could go get at Home Depot or Lowe's right now. These are not stainless steel appliances, though I did love that dishwasher. These are white appliances. These are basic cabinets from Lowe's and Home Depot. The only thing stainless steel in my kitchen is the sink, y'all. The only thing stainless steel in my kitchen is the sink. So this was my first home, okay? Well, it was not my dream home, but it made my dreams possible. I'm gonna repeat that. This was not my dream home, and I knew it, but it made my dreams possible, and I knew that it would. So we have to retrain our eyes in terms of what we're looking at. See, there's a difference between HGTV single family buyers and multifamily investors, okay? HGTV buyers, they're looking for granite countertops. Multifamily investors, they're looking for guaranteed cash flow. HGTV single family buyers, they buy based on emotion. Multifamily investors, they buy based on economics. Single family buyers, they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Multifamily investors, they're trying to get ahead of the Joneses. Single family buyers, they're looking for their dream home. Multifamily investors, they're looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single family buyers, they're looking for a place to raise their kid. Multifamily investors, they're looking for a place to raise their net worth. Single family buyers are looking for a place to call home. Multifamily investors are looking for a place that other people can call home. Single family buyers are looking for open concept, one of those buzzwords. Multifamily investors are looking to open up the possibilities in their life. Single family buyers are looking for a finished basement, another buzzword. Multifamily investors are looking to start building their wealth. Which side of the line do you want to be on, y'all? If you stick to the multifamily investor side, I guarantee you'll be able to have whatever HGTV home that you want. But if you try to do HGTV first and then go multifamily, you're just going to be an uphill battle. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just you're just making your life harder. That's it. Okay. So we want to be MFM, right? Multifamily movement investors. All right. So let me show you the multifamily map real quick. As I said before, I do not find deals on Trulia and Zillow. The best deals are off-market deals. When listings hit these websites, this price spikes up by 30%. Mass marketed listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals. So why would I go to a website where there's a 30% premium? I'm going to go find off-market deals. And the way you find off-market deals is through research and relationships. And that's what I teach. Research and relationships. They're called pocket deals, right? Pocket deals. These are deals that I get from my agents before they hit the market. They have somebody that they sold to before, and now that person's ready to sell. Lenders, contractors, wholesalers, right? These are just some people in my real estate Rolodex that are sending me deals on a daily basis via text message, via Instagram, via email. Deals that do not see MLS, that do not see Trulia, Zillow, or Redfin, right? That's not. Why would I want to go to a site where there's thousands of people who are seeing the same deal every single day, right? In fact, here are some of the off-market messages that I got. This woman sent me a deal in Brooklyn, 21 units. This wholesaler in New Orleans sent me what? How many properties? 2 properties here in this text message, right? One of my students closed on an off-market deal recently. The one student asked, "Congratulations, did you find this deal on Zillow?" "No, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler." This is a relationship game, y'all. Okay. If we really want to win and we want to buy right, we need to be able to find off-market deals. We're not just searching on Trulia and Zillow. Okay. So we have to train our eyes, and this is the 4 eyes of real estate. Okay. You have to have eyes for the market, which is, how do I know if this market is expanding or contracting? Okay. What numbers do I look for to evaluate that? Then you have to have eyes for the neighborhood. These are eyes for the neighborhood is, how do you see the signs of gentrification, right? How do you see the signs of gentrification? There's actually 33 signs of gentrification. You know, one of them being white women running in the neighborhood with headphones in the middle of the night. Okay, that's signs of gentrification. As long as 20 of those signs exist, you know that that neighborhood is about to turn. Right. Then you have to have eyes for the deal. I mean, eyes for the property. So when I go into a property, I'm not looking at granite countertop and stainless steel appliances. I'm looking for hidden value and hidden cost. I've systematized this whole thing. I've systematized everything. I know it by nature now, but I've systematized it so that everybody else can actually execute on my thought processes. I've laid it all out for you right here. Okay. And then you have to have eyes for the deal. There are typically 3 ways to structure any real estate deal. And you want to know one way may work for this deal and one way may not. So you have to train your eyes to be able to see real estate opportunities. Okay. I know a lot of you are relying on a real estate agent. How many of you sent your desires to a real estate agent? I want this many square feet, this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms, this neighborhood, this price point. And then they put you on some email list and you're getting emails every single day that you don't even open. How many of you searching for real estate like that right now? Keep it real with me. Okay. That's being lazy, y'all. That's being lazy, because that same email is going out to thousands of other people. We're not going to find a real estate deal like that. Yes, those are listings, but listings are not deals. All right. So we find deals through research and through relationships. Right. So myth number 3. This one is going to mess up some of y'all. This is going to give some of y'all a headache. Okay. And this is why I want to end with this one. Myth number 3 is that I need to pay down my debt first. See, some of y'all are Dave Ramsey fans, and you were so adamant and bent on being debt free. And remember, Dave Ramsey lost his money in real estate because he bought a lot of real estate wrong, and he got caught up. Okay, so he operates from a very fear-based place. But guess what? If you go ask him right now if he has debt in his portfolio, yeah, he has debt. He has mortgages. I guarantee it. Okay, so it's not that you need to pay down your debt first. Watch this, y'all. You need to buy an asset that will pay down your debt first. You don't have to pay down your debt. You want to buy assets that pay down your debt. There's a difference between good debt and bad debt. All right. So a lot of you think that debt freedom is, you think that debt free means freedom. It doesn't. Debt free, I'm going to repeat this. Debt free does not mean that you are financially free. Financial freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. If you're debt free, but all your income is still active income, meaning that you're trading time for money, then you are not financially free. I'm going to repeat that again. Debt free does not mean financially free. I want you to be debt free. Do I want to eventually be debt free? Yeah, I would love to. But it does not mean financially free. You are financially free when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. Okay? So the reason a lot of us have a negative relationship with debt is because we have bad debt. But there's bad debt and there's good debt. Bad debt is single family mortgages. Okay? Bad debt is debt that you have to pay. Single family mortgages, student loans, credit card debts. That's bad debt. It doesn't pay for itself. Good debt pays for itself and leaves you with money. So when I go acquire a mortgage for a multifamily home, guess what? Not only does that asset produce income that pays for the debt, but then it also kicks off additional cash flow that allows me to pay for other things. Okay. So you want to get good debt, like a multifamily mortgage, right? To acquire this asset. Now that you're living here, you don't have rent, you use that to pay your single family mortgage. Now that you have cash flow from this property, you use that to pay your credit cards. Now that you have tax savings, you use that to pay your student loan. So you acquire good debt to pay off your bad debt. Is this making sense, y'all? Is this making sense? I'm gonna show you one last thing that's you're gonna be like, holy moly, watch this. How many of y'all got student debt? How many of y'all got student debt? Okay, watch this. Some of y'all rushing to pay off your student debt. I'm gonna show you why that's the wrong thing to do. Two people have $40,000 in student debt, okay? One person's on the Dave Ramsey plan, and they're like, I'm gonna rush, I'm gonna eat top ramen and peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and I'm gonna sleep on cardboard, and I'm gonna just scrap it out, and I'm gonna pay off my student debt in 2 years. Watch me do it. The other person was on this webinar and said, I'm actually going to take this money that I did earn this year, not gonna rush and pay off my student debt, because that's actually cheap money. I'm actually going to buy an asset that pays down my debt, okay? Watch this. The first person who's on the Dave Ramsey plan, they save up $20,000 every single year and they pay off their student debt, right? Living very simply, eating top ramen, packing their little lunch every single day or whatnot, all good, being frugal, okay? They now, after 2 years, they are student debt free, okay? But now they're still renting. And now they want to own a home and they want to acquire an asset, but they have no money because they put it all towards their student debt. So now they got to start saving up again. And so they end up saving up again and they want to acquire the same asset at $300,000 that they could have bought years ago, right? How much does that asset cost now? How much of that same home that the person B bought cost now, 4 years later? If it appreciated by 3% per year, that home now costs $340,000. Watch this, y'all. Person A rushed to pay off $40,000 in student debt, and they did it in 2 years. But now they want to acquire the same asset that person B acquired years earlier, and they're acquiring it for $40,000 more, $340,000 instead of $300,000. So this person rushed to pay off their student debt, and guess what? They got handed that debt right back to them in the form of a mortgage. Y'all see what just happened? They were rushing to pay off $40,000 in student debt. Now they want to get the same asset that they could have got years before, but that same asset costs an additional $40,000. So now they just got the $40,000 debt that they just paid off handed back to them, but now it's not student loans, it's a mortgage. Oh, I wish Dave Ramsey could hear this. Send this to Dave Ramsey, y'all. That's why it's stupid. I have to call it what it is. It's financially stupid. I usually don't use that word, but that's what it is. That's what it is. The person A, they thought they were doing good. It's like, yes, I'm paying off my student debts. Yes, I'm going to be debt free. I'm going to be able to ring Dave Ramsey's bell. They thought it was good. And on the surface, it looks like it's a good thing to do. But then when they try to acquire the same asset, that same asset now costs an additional $40,000. So they literally just get the debt handed right back to them. Right? So this is wealth consciousness. This is financial literacy at its height. Okay. And so that's why I'm sharing it with you, so that you don't make these same choices. A lot of us are just coming into this awareness of financial literacy. And so I told you, this is about real estate, but I weave wealth consciousness into this all the time. All right. Y'all with me on that? Okay, cool. So let me share with you, before we close out, the 4 ways that real estate benefits you. This is a property that I actually own. Okay. And let me show you what it's going to do for me over 30 years. Remember, this is get rich quick. This is get rich guaranteed over what? Over time. So watch this. This one property over 30 years will provide me with $638,000 in cash flow. And it's only a duplex. Okay. That's after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, CapEx, repair reserve, vacancy. After all of that, this will provide me $638,000 in cash flow. The tax savings on this property will be $278,000, literally $250,000 that I do not pay Uncle Sam as a result of this. The principal pay down by the tenants will be $225,000. And the appreciation on this property, if it appreciates by 1% every single year for the next 30 years, would be $104,000. So when you add up all those 4 benefits, this one single purchase will lead to a change in a net worth of $1.2 million for my last name. One property over 30 years. And I have 10 of them right now, and I'm not stopping. This is guaranteed path to wealth over time. Are you patient enough to go through the process? Are you willing to do the work and make the sacrifice today to make sure that you can get at least one of these assets in your family's name? Okay. So a lot of people talk about securing the bag. Well, here's how you secure the bag, y'all. By securing a building. And then that will secure your housing. It will secure your retirement, and it will secure your legacy. You can go get stocks, and I want you to have stocks, diversify your assets. But how many of you, anybody living in a stock right now? Is there anybody living in a stock right now? You can't live in your stocks. You can live in a building. This is one asset that will also take off your greatest expense, which is housing. Okay. So in chat, please let me know, what is the number one thing that you learned tonight? What was the greatest takeaway, breakthrough for you, insight, aha moment? Let me know in chat. So Roz said NACA. Good. I got bars. NACA, that I'm homeless, that I need to do this now. Cash flow. 2 families should be first house. No, not 2 family, Adrian. We want to go as big as possible. We want to go 4 family or 3 family. Okay. Good debt versus bad debt. Okay. Not rushing to pay off student loans. Multifamily before single family. Definition of true freedom. Debt free does not mean financially free. Beautiful. So you got the major lessons, y'all. And I hope this time blessed you. Time is your most valuable asset in the entire world, and I want more time freedom for you. So I hope that this time was actually valuable for you. All right. So with that, earlier I asked for permission to share an opportunity with you for those of you who are serious and wanted more and want to be able to accelerate your process. Make sure that you buy right and don't make any mistakes. If I still have the green light to share, please give me a yes in chat. If you're not interested whatsoever, I want to thank you for being here. I wish you the best. Please take what I share with you tonight and go out there and try to get it on your own. I wish you the best. But if there are those of you who are serious and want to make sure that this happens quickly, that you're able to take advantage of this window as forbearance comes to an end, then I will share this opportunity with you right now. Okay? Cool. Thank you so much. All right. And I'm going to take questions in just a second, y'all. So let me just share this opportunity and I'm going to take questions. All right? So obviously, for those of you who are still here, in fact, I'm looking at the numbers. We lost a few people, lost like 3 people. I wish them the best. Here's the deal. I know you're here because you want generational wealth, passive income, more freedom. And I know because that was me too. Now, when it comes to real estate, we all have a desire to learn, to own deep down inside, own or be owned, right? And so there's many different ways to make money in real estate agent, tax lien. You're probably hearing a lot about wholesaling, foreclosures, fix and flips, Airbnb, multifamily. Where I can do a deep dive with you is in multifamily real estate. This is where my expertise is in, and this is where I want to take you, okay? So the real question you got to ask yourself, this is the $1,000,000 question, is what are you going to do today to make sure that you are never economically vulnerable like this tomorrow? Some of you got exposed by coronavirus. You were just chilling, taking your vacations. You had your single source of income or whatnot. And some of you still walking on ice, wondering if you're going to get laid off in the next month, right? So you got to ask yourself, what am I going to do today to make sure that no individual or no economic event has this much power over me and can put me in this kind of fear? For those of you who came in late, this is my actual portfolio. These are the properties that I control, not own. And I don't own them until the mortgages are paid off, but I control all these properties, and all these properties pay me in my last name. Okay. Now, if you want to go see these properties and verify, right, that I'm not just pulling stock images or whatnot, you can go to nolaassessor.com, nolaassessor.com, and search Julian Newton Gordon, right, or Purpose Properties, which is my LLC, okay, and see the 8 properties that I have here in New Orleans, okay. So these are legitimate. I'm not pulling anybody's leg. Go search nolaassessor.com on your own, okay. So what I want to invite you all to participate in is the Multifamily Master Plan, which is a 12-week experience that I created where I'll walk you through everything that we just discussed and a lot more to accelerate how quickly you're able to buy a multifamily home the right way that gives you rent freedom for those of you who are renters, and or a positive cash flow stream that pays off another debt for those of you who are single family buyers, another debt being your mortgage, student loans, credit cards, or medical bills, right? The way the program is structured is 5 modules. There's finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. I'll walk you through those really quickly. So in the finance it module, I'm going to show you no to low money down programs and grants that you can use to get started quickly without huge savings. What exactly are lenders looking for? The key numbers and ratios you need to be aware of. Quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down and save literally tens of thousands. Literally shifting your interest rate from 4.25 to 3.75 will save you about $30,000 over a 30-year mortgage, okay? FHA loans debunked. The dark side that most people don't tell you beyond it being 3.5% down, why you must shop for lenders first and not the home. Some of you shopping for homes, and guess what? You can find the perfect home, but if you don't have your financing lined up, then somebody else is gonna get that home. You need to shop for lenders first, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to get the lowest interest rate possible, and then why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily home as long as it makes sense, right? Then in the Find It module, I'm gonna show you how to find great deals in your backyard, literally. My first deal was in my backyard in Brooklyn. I lived on Fulton Street, and then the property I bought was on the next street over. Literally the property that I was renting and the backyard of the property that I ended up owning shared a fence, okay? So there are deals right around you. You just haven't trained your eyes yet to be able to see them. And so that's what I'm hope to do for you. How to use the internet and the specific websites you need to know to find and do due diligence on a deal. Again, this is not truly a Zillow or Redfin. These are not the websites that I'm talking about. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance. For those of you who are expensive markets, I'm going to be clear about this. For those of you who are in expensive markets like New York or the Bay Area or whatnot, your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Okay? Some of you own Amazon stock, you've never been to Seattle. You own Nike stock, you've never been to Portland. Okay? You own Apple stock, you've never been to Cupertino. Your money is in another city working without you being there. Okay, so your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance, why the asking price doesn't matter, the real metrics that make a deal worth it or not, and the people and tools you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily, okay? Finalize it. The 23 numbers you need to truly evaluate whether or not to purchase or pass on a deal. So that whole financial model, I walk you through all those numbers, where to find them and how to find them quickly, how to evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get your offer in before anyone else. The 4 most overlooked numbers that can make or break a deal. Literally you miss out on one number and your deal could be off. And all of a sudden you made a purchase and you think you're winning, and you start taking control of that property. You realize, oh, this property isn't cash flow. I forgot to do this, okay? How to never pay at or above asking price and get it reduced to whatever you desire without the seller walking away. And then the 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right, okay? Then fix it. The 10 types of contractors you need to have and trust in on speed dial once the deal is in motion, not after you've purchased. You need these contractors before you even make your offer. You need to build your real estate Rolodex, and I show you the ones that you need, how to vet them beyond using Yelp or Angie's List, the questions to ask and the things to look for. Walk, crawl, climb, everything you must do and look for during the inspection process. Do you realize that the inspection process is one of your greatest points of leverage in a negotiation on a real estate deal? I've literally had students get their price reduced by $35,000 leveraging this tactics that I share with them about how to use the inspection process. First things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it is not move in and then fix it or nix it, what you should fix immediately and what can wait for later until the cash starts flowing. Okay, you don't have to fix everything immediately if there are fixes to be made. Then fill it. Your landlord now, how to avoid those 3 a.m. phone calls and manage a building without always being there, how to find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled, what you need, who you need, and where to post. You'll get a free download of my sample lease agreement, and long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investments without being there, and the top 20 markets to invest in. Okay, so with that, for those of you who are single family buyers, I know there are quite a few of you from earlier. I just want to point out that there are 6 ways for you to reverse yourself out of your situation. Okay, only 2 of them require you to sell your home. Okay, so it's actually right here in the course in the special situation section, single family home buyer. Don't buy a single family first, what to do if you already did. It's literally laid out for you. I show you which option is the best for you given your situation. There's all kinds of things that I have to ask you. Are you emotionally attached to the home? Do you have kids? Do they go to a good school in the neighborhood? How much equity do you have? What's the interest rate on that mortgage? Do you have a HELOC out on it, right? Are you willing to move to the other side of town? Like, I have to ask you all these different questions to evaluate what is the best strategy for you, but you are not trapped forever, okay? Don't think you just messed up and it's just over for us. No, there are ways out of that, okay? So real quick, I want to share with you some of the success stories of my students. This is the Roll family. They have the they have the 4 family out in Los Angeles near University of Southern California. Here's what Kazi said. Julian's journey has always been an inspiration to my wife and I. We didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now that we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated and generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents of our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. The Campbell family, my issue was that I had a rental property that I wasn't cash flowing because I didn't buy right, as Julian always says. Thanks to his coaching, we came up with the strategy to sell that property and leverage it up into a multifamily unit using a 1031 exchange. We found a great real estate agent attorney to transfer our rental property out of my name and into LLC. Now that we've corrected our real estate wrongs and have a cash flowing Airbnb in Charlotte, which Julian taught me how to scale quickly, and a multifamily where we live mortgage free in one of the 2 units, all right? And this is Dante and his family. He joined on August 15th. He actually made an offer on a deal that I found and evaluated here in New Orleans, and he got it. And so he closed on this duplex on September 19th, literally a little over 30 days. This is Jackie Hall Cooper. She's actually in Philadelphia. She bought a 3-family and a single family from a distressed seller in Philadelphia. So she got them with equity built into them. She actually closed on this on Halloween. That's why her agent is looking like the scarecrow. This is Spencer. He lives in Texas, closed in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio on this duplex here. This is Romaro and his family. They live in Oakland, California, a very expensive market, but they bought this duplex in Detroit, Michigan. This is Jason. He lives in San Antonio, Texas. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans, about 5 blocks away from me. I really want to keep New Orleans black, so any deals that I find here, because I get a lot sent to me, I share those with my students. This is Ronique. He actually closed on this 4-plex in Birmingham, Alabama in 30 days. And he's already on his second project where he closed on this property for duplex for $25,000. He's putting in $45,000 and the after repair value is actually $175,000. So he's about to step into $100,000 in equity as a result of what I've taught him in this program. This is Demetrius. He's one of our younger students. He's also a veteran, and he bought this 4-plex in Killeen, Texas. So we're so excited for him. Given how young he is, he's definitely got a pathway to create huge wealth. Steven lives in New York, and I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans. He got it for $35,000 under asking using the strategies that I taught him. This is April. She's out in Virginia Beach, purchased this 4-plex where she's going to live in 1 unit and Airbnb the others. So excited for her out in Virginia Beach. This is Jay. Normally, I don't have my students close on single-family homes, but she found a home with so much equity in it already that it still made sense. And so she closed on this single-family home with $8,000 in equity in it. This is Fernando and his family. They're actually turning this home in LA to a group home. And they know that business model. I do not teach that business model, but they said as a group home, the numbers are crazy. Then there's Terrence. He is also a vet, and he used his VA loan to close on this 4-plex in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then we have Jetro, who went to school at University of Florida. He closed on this property, this fourplex in Gainesville, Florida, recently. And so if you look at these dates, y'all, I literally have students closing in the middle of Corona. April 14th, Jetro closed on April 30th. Sandra closed on April 30th on this duplex in Kansas City, Missouri. Robin, she closed on this property here in New Orleans on November November 20th. And then Nicole, she closed on this property in Chicago, fourplex, on April 15th. Okay, so Nicole and her family moved into there. And then Devin, he closed on this property in East Orange, New Jersey, on May 12th. So literally last month, y'all, I got students closing. And then Alan, he closed most recently on June 17th. He closed on this threeplex in Baltimore, Maryland. So I got students closing in the midst of Corona, y'all. This is what it is. This system works, and I'm happy to share it with you all, okay? So normally the multifamily master plan would cost $1,999. That is not what it will cost tonight. In fact, tonight I'm gonna show you how you can get access to the program for free. Okay, I repeat, I'm gonna show you how to get access to the program for free. I know some of you are like, what are you talking about? You gotta be playing. What's the catch? All you have to do is join the Multifamily Movement Mastermind, which is committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate, all right? I'm committed to helping 300 people and families acquire a cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 months of being pre-qualified. So, but Julian, you just said it was free. What do you mean? Here's what I know. I've been teaching online for the past 10 years, y'all, and only 7% of people complete online courses. So what just real quick, how many of y'all have bought an online course or bought a book and it's still sitting on your shelf? You wanted to change some area of your life and it just you haven't opened it, you haven't logged in or anything. Just be real with me, y'all. Got it. So it's a lot of y'all. So whether it's an online course that's expensive or a $5 book, it still happens. So here's what I mean by it's free. The multifamily master plan is the multifamily movement is the accountability and the structure that you need to succeed. So when you pay for the coaching, the accountability and the structure, I will happily give you access to everything that is in my mind about real estate. Okay? But only if you are willing to implement it. See, I'm not here for the transfer of information. I'm here for your transformation. If you get all the information and you never integrate it, then there's no change that occurs in your family's name. There's no change. I'm not able to move towards my purpose. Right? So I don't measure my success by how many students are in the Freedom School. That's not how I measure my success. I measure my success by how many students have got to the closing room. Okay? So I'm going to repeat this. What you're paying for is not the information. This information is scattered all over the internet. You can go find it in books. You can find it on blogs. You can find it on YouTube, podcasts. You can go try to piece the information together. What you're paying from me is the structure and the accountability. That's what you're paying for. And once you pay for that structure and accountability, I'll give you access to everything that I know about multifamily real estate. Does that make sense, y'all? Does that make sense? I just want to be clear. All right. So this is a movement that is not just online. You won't just join and then you'll never see me again. This is a movement in real life. This is 100 of us here in New Orleans on MLK weekend for my wealth and real estate weekend, which I'll talk about in a second. That's me right there. And that's my daughter in her pink jacket. They came down, we looked at some of our properties, and we even did some deals together as a family, okay? So the multifamily master plan is not just a course. Let me actually share this with you. This is not a course where you just be watching videos and hope that a real estate deal lands in your lap. Only 20% of this program is actually on the internet. Why? Because all this mindset stuff that we did today, I have to do more of that with you. That's all that happens on video. The other 40% of this course is actually on the phone with agents, lenders, contractors, wholesalers, building your real estate Rolodex. Real estate is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people and properties. The other 40% is actually you in your shoes and in your car, actually going and visiting new neighborhoods and properties, okay? You gotta be visiting people and properties in order to make this work, to find those off-market deals. So again, this is not some Netflix and chill course where you're just gonna watch videos and hope that by osmosis you find a real estate deal. No, this is an experiential learning. Let me show you how it works. Every week you're gonna have a new challenge, okay? Something that you have to get up off your butt and do. This is the financial house cleaning challenge, the lender shopping challenge, the pre-approval challenge, the real estate agent challenge, the neighborhood knowledge challenge, a deal a day challenge. And then on week 7, you have the real estate team building challenge, new neighborhood challenge number 2, a deal a day challenge number 2. And then you do those over and over habitually until real estate just becomes part of your DNA. Okay. Let me walk you through the course real quick. Let me just show you how detailed the course is. It's linear. Please, when you join, come in and do not skip steps. I know you think you know some things, even those of you who bought single family homes. Oh, I know how this works. I know how inspection works. No, you come in the course and you do not skip steps. Every week is set up in such a way where the first videos are mindset modules, and then there's movement. There's mindset, and then there's movement, okay? So we reframe the mind in terms of how you think and see, and then we go take action based on what we just learned. So this is the full course, everything that you get access to when you join, okay? And then how I hold you accountable is every week we have our weekly deal room calls. On those calls, you have to submit what you did last week, and you have to submit what you're going to do in the upcoming week. On those calls, I also do hot seat coaching. So this is your opportunity to get coached by me. This is not a one-on-one coaching program, okay? This is group coaching. So you can join the hot seat, sign up, and I will coach you on Zoom live, just like this, right? While everyone else is listening in. Or I'll be coaching other people while you're listening in, okay? So this is how you get coached by me and held accountable every single week to make sure that you're making progress toward your dreams of owning multifamily real estate. On top of that, everyone gets access immediately to the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer. This is the financial model that I've developed over the past 6 years that allows me to evaluate deals and never make a mistake. Literally, if you follow the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer, you will never buy wrong. You will never end up underwater on a real estate deal. Okay, so I built this out for you to make sure that you never make a mistake and that you buy right. Okay, on top of that, you all get access or a free ticket to my live 2-day event in New Orleans, which is my Wealth and Real Estate Weekend. That is on MLK weekend coming up this year. And the first day is all wealth. It's all my wealth building strategies, all my wealth consciousness strategies beyond real estate. And then on day 2, we do real estate. We actually go look at some of my properties, and we look at properties that we could actually do deals on together. Okay, so when you put all that together, that's the multifamily master plan for $1,999. The multifamily movement weekly deal room calls and coaching, that's $2,399. Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer is priceless, and the live 2-day event in New Orleans is $599. So together, everything will be worth $4,997. So let me ask you a question. I'm going to share the price in just a second. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Yes, right? Would it be worth $4,997 if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year? Let's say you didn't knock it out in 3 months. Let's say you had to work on your credit, save up a little bit more money, and you were able to do this in a year. Would it be worth $4,997? Okay. Would it be worth $4,997 if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the deal analyzer? Never made a mistake, no predatory lending, because if you buy this first deal wrong, you're going to be backpedaling for a long time. Okay, so we need to make sure that this first deal is done right so that you can end up building a portfolio. Okay, so earlier I asked you a question. I said, would you give up or go get the money? And a lot of y'all, you know, he was like, you know me, I'm about that. I do what I got to do. You know me, I'm a real one out here in these streets. Y'all was using your Twitter fingers, and that was a hypothetical situation. Now we got a real life situation where you get to choose between continuing down the path that you've been on or choosing a path that's going to accelerate your journey towards financial abundance and wealth. And so you get to choose whether you're going to give up or go get the money. Option number 1, it feels free, but it's going to cost you the most, and that is you do nothing, okay? And while you do nothing, rents are going to continue to rise, right? And it's going to make it harder for you to save because guess what? Your salary's not rising with rents. You can't go to your boss and say, hey, my rents rose. Can you pay me a little bit more? No, it doesn't work like that, right? Especially if you're not creating more value. And on top of that, as prices continue to rise, then it's going to be harder for you to buy, okay? So that's option number 1, but obviously we don't want to go down that road. Option number 2 is a one-time payment of $1,497, $1,497. Literally, all I'm asking you for, you told me it was worth $4,997. This is 1/3 of that, okay? Literally, this is the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to put yourself in a position to never pay rent or mortgage expense ever again. All I'm asking is for the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage expense ever again. To me, that's a very fair offer. Now, there are other organizations out there that offer similar education. You might have heard of Fortune Builders. How many of you heard of Fortune Builders? How many heard of Fortune Builders? They charge $15,000 for what I'm sharing with you. They charge 10 times as much. I've been to their hotel meetings, and it's about 70% of people of color here in New Orleans at that meeting, and it's robbery. I don't want your down payment. I want you to have your down payment so that you can succeed. I don't need your down payment. My portfolio is fine. I have enough, okay? I want you to have your down payment so that you can succeed. So I made this as affordable as possible for you so that you can succeed. Get the education, train your eyes, and make sure that you still have money in your pocket to actually win, all right? So literally, Brendan, he posted this. He said, Julian, thanks to you, bro. I was apprehensive at first to take your class due to the price point. I thought I could have learned from YouTube University, laugh out loud. In retrospect, you dropped too many jewels for me to count. One example saved me $1,200 by making the lenders compete. It was money well spent. For any new people reading this, Julian is a truth good people and has a wealth of knowledge. Appreciate all that you do, good brother, and profound impact that you make on so many. All right. So that's Brendan. All right. And he actually went on to say recently he actually got a approval or appraisal on a property that he's made an offer on, and it came in $14,000 above his offer. So he's about to step into $14,000 in equity, and he already saved $1,200 with by making the lenders compete. So what I'm showing you and teaching you is literally going to save you thousands of dollars on your first or second real estate deal. Second for those of you who are single family buyers, and first for those of you who are renters. Okay. So again, you can go to multifamilymovement.com. That's multifamilymovement.com to join now. Now, how many of you need a payment plan? How many need a payment plan? I know money is funny, coronavirus or whatnot. The economy has been shifty or whatnot. Given that, I've made a payment plan available, and that is 6 payments of $349, okay? Just for 6 months. This is not a subscription that is ongoing forever, and I just hope that you forget and you never come to class. No, that's not how this is. It's only for 6 months. After 6 months it ends, and you have lifetime access to the content, okay? So $349 times 6 is $2,094. So this package, if you join at $14.97 the one pay, you literally save $597, okay? But if you need the monthly payment plan, there is a little bit of an extra charge for that, and that's $349 per month, but only for 6 months, and then it ends after that, okay? So you can literally get access to all this. Now, with $349 a month, your modules will get dripped to you, okay? So your modules will get dripped to you as you pay. With $14.97 one pay, you get access to everything immediately, all right? So that is the difference between the two opportunities. With $14.97, you get access to everything immediately, and you save $597. With $349, your modules will get dripped, and once you've made that 6th payment, then you have lifetime access to the program. All right, is that fair? Mystic says that's fair. All right, cool. Now, again, I don't want your down payment, so watch this, y'all. For those of you who need the payment plan, I will extend the $14.97 for 60 days. So if you pay $349 tonight and you pay $11.48 by the 30th day, then I will honor the $14.97. Or you can pay $349 tonight, $349 on July 30th, and then if you pay $7.99 by August 30th, I will still honor the $14.97. Okay. So some of you, I know taxes got delayed, right, to the 15th of this month. So if you're going to get your tax refund or whatnot, and you know a lot of money is coming, or some stimulus or unemployment, whatever, then I'll allow you to use that and still take advantage. I don't want the $597. I'd rather you have the $597 so that we can use it towards your down payment. I want you to succeed, okay? I want you to succeed. But you do have to put money down, whether it's $349 or $14.97. You have to have some skin in the game. This information that I package and the structure that I'm providing you and the coaching that I'm providing you, it's invaluable, okay? So that's where the skin in the game comes from. This is not, this information, again, it's free. It's spread out all on the internet. You can go try to piece it together. That's going to only cost you time. It's only going to cost you time, and you're going to hear different opinions. All right. So who should join? You should join this movement if you are a renter who has paid over $50,000 in rent, living on your own, quote unquote, living on your own. If you paid over $50,000 in rent since you've been living on your own, you should join this movement so we can get you off that. If you are a single family buyer who wants to become a real estate investor, then you should join this program. And you should join this program if you're willing to make the sacrifices today for success in the future. But please do not join if you're looking to get rich quick or you need money yesterday. If you need money yesterday, this program is not for you. I'm sorry. Again, if you are a single family buyer, excuse me, that's not accurate. And this is also not for you if you're unwilling to change what you're doing now to save money and search for real estate deals. Again, this is not just watch some video, join the program, and then real estate deals are going to land in your lap. There is work required. Okay, you're going to need about 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day to execute on this 12-week plan. But you don't have to take 12 weeks. Some of you may say, Julian, I'm busy right now. I can't start until the end of July. Or Julian, I'm busy right now. I'm going to put myself on the 24-week plan. It's all up to you. You go at your own pace. But there will be work that needs to be done if you really want this. Is that clear, everyone? Is everybody clear on that? I'm going to take questions in just a second. All right? All right, cool. So with that, I want to share with you a couple bonuses. The first bonus is the Fuel It module. And this is how I'll walk you through each purchase that I've made. And I'll walk you step by step through why I purchased it, what was good about the property, what wasn't good about it, and how I use it to build wealth, right? So I'll show you how I scale from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 10. Every single property, I'll show you how I evaluated the deal and how I made my decision. Then you're also going to get the real estate tax secrets. This is how to reduce your tax liability. This is not tax evasion. This is tax avoidance by leveraging the law. Tax avoidance, right? On that one property I showed you, I'm going to save $278,000 in taxes due to that one property because I get to depreciate that property from a tax standpoint over 27.5 years, okay? That's literally $250,000 that's staying in my pocket as opposed to going to Uncle Sam. So that's REI tax secrets. Then for those of you who live in Airbnb-friendly markets, I built a 6-figure Airbnb business. I'm going to show you how to get more than what you would get for market rate rents using Airbnb and how to set that up and fill your calendar up quickly. For those of you who have credit issues, I licensed this program called the Credit Etiquette course from Tanya Rapley, who's been featured on OWN and Black Enterprise. And it will show you DIY steps to increase your credit score by 50 to 150 points so that you can be in striking range and also decrease your interest rate, okay? You also get access to the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer online. I spent over 5 figures to develop an online technology where you actually evaluate all of your deals in one single place, okay? And all of our students evaluate their deals there. And because of that, there's a public deals page. So when a student finds a deal that they're not gonna move on, they can actually share that deal with the family, and everybody who's in that city can now access that deal as well. So this is very powerful. It allows us to tap into the collective wisdom. So when other people are finding off-market deals that, oh, I didn't get qualified to buy a fourplex, but I'm gonna pass this on to somebody else, this is the power of our community, all right? So when you add in all those bonuses, the Fuel It module, which is $997, tax secrets, how to reduce your taxes, overnight success, how to grow using Airbnb, credit etiquette course, $299, and Purchaser Pass online app, $199. The total value of everything that I'm offering you is $7,586. So it's not even just $4,997. So look, y'all, you say you don't know where to start. Well, I'm giving you the Multifamily Master Plan, which is the step-by-step blueprint. You say you're alone on the journey. I'm giving you community. The weekly deal room calls, come join us. Our Facebook group, I'm in there every day answering questions, and it's a very active community. I'm not that good at math. You don't have to be. Guess what? There's math for millionaires, and then there's math from high school. Math for millionaires is what I teach you. And all the equations are built into the Purchaser Pass Deal Analyzer, okay? I need help with money beyond real estate investing. Well, that's what the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend is for. I'm gonna show you all my wealth building strategies beyond multifamily real estate on the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend. Okay, you already bought a home. I'm gonna show you how to reverse out of that and actually build your portfolio with the Fuel It module, okay? Do I need an LLC? No, you do not need an LLC, not for your first purchase, but I am gonna show you how to maximize your taxes and set up the right structure so that when you are ready to scale into an LLC, you're ready to do so, okay? Prices are too high where you are. I'm gonna show you how to, one, invest from a distance or use a business model like Airbnb to get more than rents, which then can make your deal actually work. And then if you have credit issues, you're going to get access to Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course so that you can improve your credit score. Okay. So when you put all those things together, again, it will be worth $7,586, but you do not have to pay that today. Bashari, I was so happy to have you in the program. Thank you for trusting me and going on this journey on the Above Ground Railroad. Two last things before I take questions, y'all. I have a Coach Until You Close 2-year 100-session support program. Okay. So you will get live coaching from me weekly. Okay. Weekly for at least 2 years. Some of you are ready to close in 3 months. Some of you be ready to close, but let's just say you, as far as bankrupt, right? And you are 18 months out from your bankruptcy being cleared out. I'm here to support you for at least 2 years. So this is my Coach Until You Close 2-year guarantee that I will have your back for 2 years to watch you get across the finish line. Now, given that I'm offering this much support, 2 years of my life to you succeeding, there are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. I know that this program works. I've shown you countless examples of this program working. I can't control how you show up, though. I cannot control how you show up. So as long as you do your part, which means that you are completing the course modules, which I can track, analyzing the deals, meeting people, building your real estate Rolodex, visiting properties, and making offers, then I will be here to support you until you close, okay? And finally, you all get a buddy pass. You get to bring somebody with you on this journey. It can be a best friend, blood, or business partner. Best friend is spouse or homie. Blood is siblings, parents, or kids, or a business partner who you are going to invest with, okay? You get to bring them on the journey for absolutely free. They get everything that you get except for the ticket to the real estate, wealth and real estate weekend, and there's a discounted ticket for them, all right? So you get to bring somebody in the program for free. Why? Because I believe that you'll be more successful when you have somebody who's on the ground with you, who's like, hey, Julian, let's go out. Let's go out and let's go evaluate some deals together. Let's go do that this Saturday. Let's go through module 3 together right now. You know, when you have somebody on the ground who's with you, I wish I could be right next to you in your home, all of the cities that you're in. I wish I could be right there with you. A lot of y'all in the ATI, I wish I could be out in the A, but I can't. But if you have a friend out in the A, right, who can go on this journey with you, who you know is about this life, then that's going to increase your likelihood of success. And that's the number one thing that I care about is your success. So you get to bring somebody on this journey with you. These are two sisters who are going on this journey together. This is Velveeta and Velvet. They're currently in Los Angeles, Southern California, looking for a property together there. All right. Now, if you join within the next 13 minutes by 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will actually give you the free ticket to the event. The $599 ticket that your buddy doesn't get, I'll give you a bonus one, right, for the event if you join tonight. This is only for tonight. Within the next 13 minutes, your enrollment will be timestamped, and we go hard by those numbers, okay? So again, that is there for you. You can join at multifamilymovement.com, and again, you are literally just one deal away. This was my first deal. I had no idea that it would unfold into all of this, okay? But because I kept buying right and because I had a system in place, this is what it's led to. And when you buy that first property right, let me show you exactly what happens, y'all. This is how it unfolds. That's my first property right there, and it led to my second, third, fourth, and fifth. I use property 1, 2, and 3 to buy 4, 5, and 6, and I use 4, 5, and 6 to buy 7, 8, and 9. This is how wealth is built in real estate, and this is what I want to get you on. So when you start, you'll get onboarded, you'll get your deal analyzer, you'll start the course, you'll go through orientation. We'll have our weekly deal room call on Sunday, and you'll start your first challenge, okay? For those of you who have left this screen to go purchase at multifamilymovement.com, your temporary password is the word freedom. It'll be your email address, and the temporary password will be the word freedom, all lowercase. So if you can still hear me, even though you're on the other page, just letting you know that. Now, there is a price of procrastination. Today, it is $349 per month for 6 months or $1497 lifetime. If this offer is available until Friday at midnight, y'all. This offer is available till Friday at midnight. Friday at midnight, it will go up to $3,997, okay? You already told me that it was worth $4,997. The price will jump to $3,997 on Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, okay? Not West Coast time, Eastern Standard Time. So you have till Friday to make the decision. I know some of you have to move money around between accounts and things of that nature. So go ahead and do that. Now, for those of you who are here, A. Jones, try the PayPal. I'll show you the PayPal links. A. Jones, there are 2 PayPal links under here. There's one for $14.97 and one for $3.49 per month. If for some reason this is not letting you click to the next screen, then try the PayPal links instead. Okay. All right. So for those of you who are here now, I will be sending out the list of down payment assistance programs tomorrow morning via email. So keep an eye out on your email. And with that, I would love to take as many questions as I can possibly get from you now. The way we're going to ask questions is not in chat. Okay. We are not going to use chat for questions. We use the Q&A function. You'll see an option below that says Q&A. Please put your questions there. I'm going to answer them in order. Hopefully there's a lot of duplicate questions so that when I answer one question up here, it's actually answering 3 more down here. I'm going to get through as many as I possibly can. I want you to make an informed decision, just like I want you to make an informed decision about real estate. So I'm here to answer. I see the questions starting to pile up. Here we go. Okay. Again, I'm just so grateful for all of you being here. Literally, we're here for almost 2 hours on a Tuesday night learning about wealth building through real estate. That's inspiring to have hundreds of us here doing that. I don't think this was happening like 5 years ago or 10 years ago to this degree. So it says that we're making progress, but we don't just want it to be informational. We want it to be actual tangible. Okay. So Lula says, I got in 5 minutes late. I want my husband to see this. Will you send a replay? Yes, I'll send out a replay tomorrow. So look for email, out for email for that with the replay link. Are we technically in a recession? Pricing in Los Angeles still seem the same. So Whitney, real estate prices, they don't react as quickly as stock market prices because stocks are very liquid. I can sell my stocks in 2 seconds. Real estate takes longer to sell. And then also real estate buyers, because they have to, buyers, they're real estate buyers. They don't own the property. They typically are in denial longer, and they are slower to admit that their price of their real estate is going down. And they also don't want to have to move their entire life. When I'm selling a stock, I'm not really moving anything. I just press a button, right? But if I'm a single family buyer or a multifamily buyer who bought wrong, one, I'm going to stay in denial, right? And then I'm going to go into forbearance. And then if I'm living there, I don't want to move. So I'm really going to try to hold out as long as possible. So it's going to be about a 3 to 6 month window once forbearance ends for the market to correct. Even in expensive markets like Brooklyn and Los Angeles, okay? Again, real estate does not react as quickly as some of the more liquid assets. Whitney has 4 questions. So Whitney, I do not teach on foreclosures, okay? I do not teach on foreclosures. Do you recommend a property manager? What are the trade-offs of having one versus not having one? So property managers typically take about 10% of rents. So if I have $36,000 a month in rents, I do not want to cough up $3,600 per month. The key is actually having great tenants. So in your screening process for your tenants, that's what actually leads to great tenants. So because my tenants are so great and my real estate Rolodex is so strong, literally, I had a leak at one of my properties. All I did was text my plumber. Are you available? Can you come by at 9 a.m.? Hey, Michelle, Joe wants to come by at 9 a.m. Are you going to be home? Boom. That's it. Okay. So I don't need a property manager to do that. Okay. Because I got my team on point. In Oakland, where I own, and Brooklyn, where I own, I do have property managers. Obviously, I can't be there. So I do have property managers in those places. So for those of you who need to invest from a distance because you're in an expensive market, having a great property manager on the ground is going to be key. I still see some questions coming up in chat. Please bring them over, copy them over into the Q&A function. Lula, this model is for people renting and can live in one unit. What advice do you have for those of us with a mortgage that can't stop paying the mortgage to live in a multifamily home? Lula, like I said, there are 6 options for single family buyers to reverse themselves out of that situation. Only 2 of them require you to sell. So in the program, I will coach you through which of the 6 options is actually best for you based on the situation. As I said earlier, I'd have to ask you tons of questions. Do you have an emotional attachment to that home? Do you have kids? Where is your job located? Are you willing to move? What's your interest rate? How much equity do you have in the home? What's your mortgage payment? What are your long-term financial goals? What are your short-term financial goals? What is your liquid cash right now? What are you doing with that liquid cash? There's all kinds of questions that I would have to coach you on, basically, Lula, to help you make the best decision. And that's what the program is for. Froswell, what are your thoughts on rehab versus building the units from nothing? Froswell, getting new construction loans right now is very difficult given the economy. And if you're not experienced at doing so, you could actually build something that's new and nice, but it's too expensive to actually work in terms of multifamily real estate, meaning that it won't cash flow. So rehab, there is a 203K FHA loan that you can use that'll allow you to rehab a property that you're going to move into. So that could be a great option for you. Can an FHA loan when I have a mortgage in NACA? No. No. You would likely have to refinance out of that NACA loan into a conventional and then try to go get an FHA. There's 5 different criteria that you can use to use an FHA. Remember, the F in FHA does not stand for first time. It stands for federal. So there are 5 ways to use FHA. There are 5 exceptions, even if you have a single family already. All right? There's 5 ways to use FHA, even if you have a single family already, and I teach those in the program. Okay? I live in Manhattan and property is expensive. What is the limit that I can use in NACA or FHA? So NACA and FHA have regional limits. So they have market-based limits. So you'll have to, I don't know the exact number for New York, but if you reach out to FHA or NACA, they'll be able to tell you, okay? Do you help me make connections with the right people? If you're in New Orleans, I will give you access to my entire real estate Rolodex. Beyond that in other markets, I don't know people all over. So I will help you make the right connection to our go-to mortgage broker and our go-to credit repair specialist, okay? But I don't know a plumber in Boise, Idaho, okay? So I teach you who you need to know and how to find those people, but I don't personally have a contact in Boise, Idaho. I'm just making up a city, okay? But if you're in New Orleans, I'll give you access to my entire real estate Rolodex right now, okay? Do you cover Section 8 tips? Yes. Section 8 is an amazing program. I show you how to get qualified for Section 8 and how to screen Section 8 tenants. Just because they're Section 8 tenant and have a voucher doesn't mean you have to accept them. You still get to screen your Section 8 tenants. Section 8 is probably the best thing that a landlord, especially a landlord starting out like yourself, can have because it's guaranteed rent on time and online on the first of the month. In fact, I might have gotten my Section 8 payment today because sometimes they do it early. So I think Section 8 is one of the greatest programs. It makes your real estate portfolio even more recession proof. So, and they in New Orleans, they pay great rates as well. Okay. What are the best markets to be in other than New Orleans? I give you the top 20 markets, rental markets in the country. Right now, the #1 market is actually Mesa, Arizona. And you're like, where is Mesa, Arizona? Right? The #1 markets are not the major cities that you know. Mesa, Arizona is 15 minutes outside of Phoenix. So Phoenix gets gentrified, and then people are like, okay, it's getting expensive in Phoenix. Where do I go next? The place that people have decided to go next that seems to be getting the most buzz is Mesa. So Mesa becomes the next best rental market. So the best rental markets are sometimes what we're looking for is the next market that people are moving to. A lot of y'all want to be in the market that's hip or that's sexy right now. That's not where we want to buy. We want to buy in the next market that people are going to move to as they go further and further and further away from Phoenix, from Arizona, from Manhattan, from Brooklyn, from San Francisco, from Oakland. What's the next market there? That's where we want to buy, okay? Can I transfer a NACA property into a LLC instead of my name and apply for FHA? And probably not, okay? So look, y'all, a lot of people talk about buying property in LLC and things of that nature. Here's the deal. I can go create an LLC literally in 10 minutes. I can have a company name registered in Delaware and a EIN number in 10 minutes, right? Would you finance me $500, even though y'all know me now after 2 hours, would you finance me $500,000 off an LLC that I just created 10 minutes ago? Has no track record, no cash, no assets, and no credit history whatsoever. Would you finance that? No, you wouldn't, right? So it's not just that simple to go get financed as an LLC. And FHA actually requires you to get financed as an individual. So does NACA, all right? Do you help invest in other countries? No, I don't have any investments in any other countries right now. Britta, if you just bought a single family home, could not close on a multi in Seattle due to funds using FHA, for a second property, do you have to put 25% down on the next property? Is it better to rent it out and go live and buy a multifamily? Yes, your next property would be 25% down, unless we fit one of the 5 FHA exemptions. If I were you, I would try to, if and again, this is just me, I would rent my single family home and see if I can get it rented at to cover the mortgage, and then I would go try to go do FHA on the other side of town or something like that in a different neighborhood. Okay. But if you couldn't get finance for multifamily before, you probably need to figure out what were the holes. Maybe it was your income. That's a harder hole to fill. Maybe it was savings. You can focus on that. Or maybe it was credit. So you need to know what the holes were in your application that didn't get you approved for enough. Okay. But let's just be honest, y'all. Some of us, I've made sacrifices. I've had people living above me, people living next to me, things of that nature. I know my first home was not my dream home. Some of us just have to look in the mirror and just look at ourselves and say, you know what, Julian, I'm sorry, but I'm just not willing. I'm not willing. I'm not willing to live in a neighborhood that's on the fringes for a year. I'm not willing to have people live above me. I'm not willing to share walls. I'm not willing to. I'm not willing to do the research. I'm not willing to meet people. And if that's you, just look in the mirror and just say, I'm not willing. And then go about your way and go follow the path of the American dream and go. But the American dream's been here for a long time, yet 76% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Is that really the American dream? This is not just people of color, y'all. This American dream that we've all been sold, they don't care about the people at the quote unquote top. They don't care about race. 76% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. Black people only make up about 10% of this country. So it's not just us. Okay? So the American dream has to be a lie. So, but if you're not willing, if you are plugged into that program, then I just wish you the best. I wish you the best. Okay? But we out here, we're going to be building wealth. All right? All right. Lula, I can't make this investment without my husband, so can I show him? Yes, I'll send out the replay tomorrow. Would you recommend using a credit card, which is bad debt, to get started? And Angela, that's a good question. I don't want you to stretch yourself, Angela. I do know that this information will change your life. That's what I do know. Angela, I'm gonna ask you to pray on that. I don't want to give you a recommendation about what to do with your credit. I don't know what your credit looks like. I don't know what your discipline is like. I don't know what your means to pay that debt back will be, because this you pay for this education, but I can't say that, oh, you'll have a property in 3 months and you'll be able to pay back that credit card. So I don't want to give you an explicit recommendation. I encourage you to just go look in the mirror and say, do I have the discipline to actually pay off it, to execute on this information, okay, and acquire an asset that then allows me to pay this credit card back? Or if, let's say, that asset doesn't come in 3 months, do I have enough discipline to go get this education and pay this credit card back even without that asset? So I'm gonna let you make that decision. I'm not gonna make a specific recommendation. I don't know everything about you to be able to determine that. Okay, you're gonna have to look in the mirror to decide that for yourself. All right. Carl, I have a question about rental insurance and tenants. Would tenants secure their own policy under the address or rent, or would you, the owner, insure the entire property? Carl, you have to. When you get a mortgage, you have to insure the entire property. If you want to encourage your tenants to have renters insurance, you can, to protect their stuff. But I don't require renters insurance for my tenants. My insurance covers everything. Okay. Jasna, how do we start building a relationship with real estate in real estate business? Jasna, first you got to identify who are all the people you need to start knowing their titles. And then there's certain meetings like the RIA meetings, real estate investor groups and things of that nature that you can find on meetup.com. And you go and you start meeting folks. And then when you do it right, you meet the right person, and that person actually plugs you to 10 other people, etc. So it's really a relationship based game. And you just got to get out there. Okay. Jason, how do I do the 349, 799? So Jason, you'll start on the 349 plan, okay? And then when you're ready to pay off the balance of 1148 or 799 after 2 months, you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com, support@thefreedomschool.com. And once you're in, you'll have Sharita's information, and she'll send you the link to pay off the balance, okay? As long as you do it within 60 days. All right. Tanisha, how do you add the payment plan? How do you add the payment plan that adds up? Yeah, so same question. So you just start at the 349 plan tonight, okay? And then when you're ready to pay off the balance, whether that's before the 30th day mark, before that second payment hits, or before the 60th day mark, we will send you a link that will give you the exact amount for the balance, and you'll pay that, and then we'll stop the automatic payments, okay? So for those of you who wanna do that plan, start with the 349 plan, which is the option on multifamilymovement.com. Okay. Again, that's multifamilymovement.com for those of you who are ready to join. Raymond, if you're a single family owner already, how does this program work for you? I think I answered that question. Raymond, please in chat, let me know if you feel like I answered that question already. There's 6 options that single family buyers have. Only 2 require them to sell. Okay. And that's all in the program. Must you live in the units with NACA and FHA? Yes, you must. For a 1 year for FHA, NACA expects you to live there indefinitely, but FHA only requires you to live there 1 year. Ra, do you manage all properties directly or use management company? I manage the ones here in New Orleans because I've done a great job of selecting my tenants. My tenants love me. They take care of me. They're my eyes and ears on all of my properties. So we have a healthy relationship. My properties in Oakland and Brooklyn, I have a property manager. Priya, if I make 26,000 annually, can I buy a multifamily home? Priya, if you make that in Boise, Idaho, you can. If you make that in New York, it's going to be difficult. Okay, so I don't know enough about you to be able to determine that. It all is all going to depend on your market. Yeah, it's all going to depend on your market. Is this good for real estate agents? Great question, Mia. I have quite a few students who are real estate agents. This helps them become smarter real estate agents and actually attract investor clients like me. Because most real estate agents, y'all got to realize this, most real estate agents don't know how to calculate cash on cash return. Why? Because it wasn't on the real estate exam. Cash on cash return, which is the #1 metric for evaluating multifamily real estate deal, is not on the real estate exam. So you're here trusting your real estate agent, but it's a weird incentive because a real estate agent is actually incentivized in a weird way for the price to be as high as possible because then their commission is bigger, right? Now, Amia is here. She answered that question. She asked that question, and I know she has her client's best interest at heart, but real estate agents and real estate investors are 2 different things. It's funny. Real estate agents are in real estate all day long, but they don't actually know everything that a real estate investor does. So if you're a real estate agent, you can come get this training, and now you can attract an investor like me who's actually going to do 5 to 10 closings with you a year. Or you can actually start building your portfolio yourself. Because as a real estate agent, you're probably seeing the deals before anyone else. Like, shoot, I ain't sending that to nobody. I'm making an offer on that. You know what I'm saying? So most real estate agents don't want to continue trading time for money or have the inconsistency of these closings, right? Closings aren't consistent. Some 1 month you might have 10 closings, or another month you might have 2, right? So with you buying assets, now you start to have more consistent income in addition to the lump sums that you get. Okay, Natalia, I live in NYC. Is this realistic to try to buy? Look, y'all, I'm not going to deceive you. San Francisco, New York City, tough markets, but real estate is being bought and sold in those tough markets. The only way to win in those markets is research and relationship, okay? It will not be truly in Zillow. The way this would work would be, look, you start to learn how to evaluate deals. You start letting people in your network know. And now your friend's grandma passes away and there's 10 heirs and they're ready to liquidate the property because None of them want to live in it, and grandma didn't take care of it or whatnot, and they know that you are looking to buy multifamily real estate. You have your pre-approval letter and you're ready to go. And before it goes onto the market, you get the opportunity to buy it, right? That's through a relationship. If you're going to win in San Francisco or New York, it's going to have to be that kind of deal. It's not going to be something that pops up on Trulia and Zillow, you bookmark and try to come back to it on the weekend and say, oh, I'm going to go visit this house. That's not how it's going to happen in those markets. They are extremely mature. All right. Now, for those of you who are expensive markets, here's what you can do. You can take your money out of that market, go to a market where your money's going to go longer, right? And go get cash flow from there to pay your rent in the expensive market. Right? Again, your money does not have to work in the same city as you do, right? But if you are attached to that city for whatever reason, maybe it's family, maybe it's work, maybe you just love the city. I'm a New Yorker. Look, y'all, I ran a calculation. $2,000 a month of rent in New York for 12 months a year for 43 years from the age 22 to 65, from end of college to retirement, is over $1 million. There's people who are New Yorkers for life, but don't own anything in New York and are literally going to pay over $1 million in rent and wonder why they're not a millionaire, because you just paid it all to rent. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be tougher in more mature markets. I'm being 100% honest about that. All right. Y'all understand? All right, cool. Is it possible to purchase in an LLC? I already talked about that. Do you think buying homes via auction makes sense? Buying homes via auction usually require you to have cash on hand. You're not going to get financed for a home on auction typically. So unless you have the money on a construction loan ready to rehab that home, that's going to be a difficult play, because hard money loans or construction loans have dried up as of late. When I say rent it out, I'm referring to single family home. Britta, I know that was connected to your earlier question, but I forgot what the earlier question was. Willie, does your plan include house hacking? Willie, the whole blueprint, the game plan that I laid out to you, that is house hacking. This whole blueprint that I laid out for y'all right here, the whole blueprint right here that I laid out, this is house hacking. That is it right there. Okay, that is house hacking. Okay, you probably never seen it in that way, but that's house hacking right there. What are your thoughts on NHS assistance in Brooklyn? Anonymous, I do not know what that is. Teresa, how do I enroll in the 90-day package? Start with the 349 plan, and when you're ready to pay in full, just email Sharita, okay? At support@thefreedomschool.com. All right, you have 60 days. It's not 90 days, Teresa. It's 60 days, okay? To pay in full. Naomi, I'm in the process of buying a 2-family, but the rent will not be enough to cover the mortgage. I would try to exit that deal. I would try to exit that deal, period. There's 5 ways that you can exit any real estate deal, and I would try to exit that deal. Unless you believe that this is just perfectly positioned and that it's going to appreciate, or that the appraisal came in way over over what your offer price is, I would exit the deal and just keep searching. Mike, with your program, does the software help find properties before they go on MLS? No, the software does not, Mike. These properties and these deals, they don't hit the internet first. So there's no way I can use an API to pull from anywhere, okay? These are deals that are passed via word of mouth, okay? So there's no software that can pull from word of mouth at this moment in time. I'll take 10 more questions and we'll call it a night. Hello, do we need 2 years of income to get a loan? We have cash but are newly self-employed and play no rent. Justin, you do not need 2 years of income. It's going to be dependent on what that income is that you have now. It's going to be dependent on the underwriter's awareness and recognition of the company. Like if you say like, I just got a new job at Apple, right? That's 60K. They're going to look at that differently than saying I got a new job at this new startup, right? That nobody knows. So all I can invite you to do is I'll introduce you to our mortgage broker when you join, and he'll connect you with the right lender based on your situation. Okay. If I don't use FHA to buy my single, if I didn't use FHA to buy my single family, well, I have access to buy multifamily straight without losing my single family. Yeah, Lakia, you can put 25% down on the multifamily in a smaller market, probably if you need your money to go longer. If you use conventional, there's still ways to use FHA if you fit one of the 5 exemptions. Okay, but you would have to live there for 1 year, rent out your single family. And if you decide to move back into your single family after a year, you can. There's 6 different ways to play that. Okay. And again, all of that is in the program. Nardino, when purchasing a different city, do you need to physically see the property before you close? Nardino, I do encourage you to go get familiar with that city, but I have purchased 2 properties blind without ever seeing them. In fact, my property 3, and my property in Oakland, I've never been inside of it. My property in Oakland, I have never been inside of it, y'all. I knew the city because I grew up there. I knew the neighborhood, right? I had somebody be eyes and ears for me, but I've never been inside my property in Oakland. I've took a picture outside of it, but I've never been inside of it, okay? So it depends on who's on the ground for you, and do you trust them in their decision making, all right? Ra, how much do you come out of pocket on your first property? 3.5% plus some closing costs. 3.5% plus some closing costs. Where is a good location for multifamily house? Adrian, we look for the 33 signs of gentrification that are all outlined here. So that's what the new neighborhood challenges are for. The new neighborhood challenges are there to help you identify where the next best opportunity is to purchase. Okay. You mentioned that you will offer support for up to 2 years. What is the maximum number of weekly consultations hours you offer to each person you mentor? Kiana, I hope I was clear about this. There is no one-on-one coaching in this program. The 2 years of support is the 50 weekly deal room calls throughout the year. I only take 2 weeks off for holidays, okay? But besides that, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm here to coach you, and you can jump in the hot seat. And once you join, you will have up to 2 years of access to that, okay? There is no one-on-one coaching here where it'd be just me and you. I have too many people to serve, y'all. So it's more impactful if I'm coaching you in the front of other people who are also going on the same journey than for me to talk to 300 people one at a time when all 300 people have the same question, okay? Does that make sense, y'all? Like, I got to get this information out to as many people as possible. I can't coach people one-on-one through this and have the impact that I desire, all right, that I'm meant to have. 4 more questions, y'all. Ivan, on an FHA loan for a property out of state, I don't want to occupy the property. Is there a way around that? Ivan, there is no way around that, brother. There's no way around that. FHA has a 1 year living requirement, and I encourage you to live in it for the 1 year and not try to work around that. There's no evidence necessarily of FHA going and knocking on people's doors and things of that nature to find out if you're living there, but I encourage you to live in it. It's only 1 year. Lisa, during what part of the process should I apply for DPA program, down payment assistance programs? I am debit free or debt free and saving up and fixing my credit score until I have at least 15K. Should I apply now or when my credit score is up and have 15K? So I encourage everybody here to go get pre-approved. Go get pre-approved. Everybody, go get pre-approved by Friday and see what the bank will lend you. You can have 5 lenders pull your credit in 30 days without it affecting your credit score. So everybody go get pre-approved. Just go see what number you would get a pre-approved for. Just go see. Some of you have no clue. Like type pre-approved in chat and type no if you haven't. Type pre-approved in chat and type no if you haven't been pre-approved. So literally, there's a lot of no's. So most of you have been taking yourself out the game. You have no clue how much the bank would even lend you. One of my students, he thought that he would only get 350. The bank lent him $500,000. So at 350, he could not play in his market, but at 500,000, he had enough. So he was taking himself out the game due to his own limiting beliefs about whether or not he could afford real estate. So my homework for all of you who are here, because I can tell you are all serious and ready to make this happen, go get pre-approved by Friday, okay? At least we learn, oh, man, I came up short. They said my credit score was too low. They said I needed higher income. They said I need more cash, right? At least we can find and identify the holes and actually strategically work on those holes so that you can get a pre-approved for more next time, right? And we can get your interest rate down lower, all right? All right. Can several people come together to buy multifamily real estate? Yes, Jane. In the program, I give you a partnership agreement. This partnership agreement is detailed. If you're going to go into business with somebody, this is a 30-year relationship. That's equivalent to a marriage. And so there's all kinds of things that you need to ask each other about. Okay, when can we start drawing from the account? When do we sell? Do we ever sell? Who's going to take responsibility for making sure property taxes are paid? Who's going to take responsibility for waste management, et cetera? Like, you got to divide up tasks and things of that nature, and that all needs to be documented, and that needs to be that document needs to be signed and notarized. Okay, so yes, you can buy, and I have bought with other people, and yeah, you just want to be serious about it and have everything in writing. Okay, last question, y'all. Is it true, Marble? Is it true I can be particular about who stays in multifamily I reside? Yes. The only time you don't have a choice is when you buy a property and you inherit tenants. Okay, when you buy a property and you inherit tenants, that's the only time that you don't have a say. But then their lease is up, and at that time you get to renegotiate with them to see if they're still a fit for the space that you're trying to create. Okay. All right. And Rita, last question. Based on what your experience, what is the average credit score lenders want? So for FHA right now, it's a 660 requirement. It's a 660 requirement. It was 580 in February for FHA, but now it's 660. They are letting up on that a little bit now as things start to normalize again. But right now, it's definitely 660. Okay. All right, y'all. So it's been an absolute blessing to serve you tonight. We've gone almost 2.5 hours in. I appreciate each and every one of you that is still here. It says a lot about you and what you're committed to. I hope I was able to give you enough game to take action to move forward on. I would love to be your conductor on the above ground railroad. This is the only path that I know to freedom that the average American can actually take advantage of. And I'm not calling you average. I'm just saying that I know that this path can work for almost anyone, as long as they have a decent income, that they're willing to work on their credit, that they're willing to get out there and pound the pavement, build relationships, and actually go see properties and do the work. So with that, I would love to be your conductor. I've led many people on this path to freedom, and I would love for you to be next if you were willing to allow me to lead you. So with that, I want to say thank you so much. I wish you a great, great night. We are, what is it, the halfway point of the year? We halfway point of the year, y'all. So I definitely pray that your second half of the year is way better than the first half of the year, y'all, because it's been a crazy, crazy ride, but it's still been fun. All right. Love y'all and have a great evening. And look out for the down payment assistance programs coming out tomorrow and the replay link. All right. Much love, y'all. Peace.